Hello and welcome back to the Arroyo Seco Saints pregame show. I'm Ethan Inman.
And I'm Dylan Gonzalez, and we're the journalism interns. The Saints are coming off a heartbreaking loss, 2-1 loss to the Riptide in their last game, but they got a chance for revenge tonight. And in that last loss, the offense really struggled. After scoring 12 the night before against the same Riptide team, they only put up one run, but that wasn't the main story for the Saints. One of the biggest positives was the pitching. Carter Herrera was absolutely filthy, really shut down the Riptide offense. 10 strikeouts, which was a season high for any pitcher on the Saints. And that one run he gave up, it was a home run, but it would be a routine fly ball here in Pasadena. And then Brady Nelson also pitched really well out of the bullpen. 3 innings, 5 strikeouts, only gave up 1 hit. And then, yeah, we've seen him start, come in relief. He said the biggest difference between that is when he comes out of the pen, he just wants to attack from right away, get strike one, and then get to a place where he can put him away.
Absolutely, yeah. And that home run you mentioned, that's something that Josh Livingston and Alex Burge might call a Mickey Mouse home run. Anyways, the Saints, like we mentioned, came off that 2-1 loss last night, but they also played the Riptide the night before. They beat them 12-5. Hit several home runs in that game with Josh Livingston and Alex Burge and Jacob Sharp all going deep. This is a team that they've hit well against mostly, especially in their 4 wins. They're 4-2 against the Riptide this season, with their 2 losses being that 2-1 nail-biter on Sunday night, and then the one kind of bad loss being a 14-1 loss against the Riptide in OC on Taylor Swift night, which was an unfortunate misstep in the Saints season, but it also ignited a fire under the Saints. Kickstarted a Josh Livingston hot streak that he at least partially credits to listening to more Taylor Swift after Taylor Swift night, and just really kickstarted a couple of great bounce back games like that 12-5 win and another 11-4 win earlier in the season when they hit lots of home runs. And when we talked to Josh Livingston and Alex Burge and Joey Donnelly after that 12-5 game on Saturday night, they said that they really like hitting against this team. So I think that was safe to say that one game against the Riptide on Sunday night was just kind of a mulligan, a misstep in the road. I think that they'll get back to their hitting ways tonight. But that's, even if they hit, it all really starts with the guy on the mound, and that's a big story for the Saints tonight.
I mean, taking the mound, that's going to be Aiden Pollock. This will be his second start of the year, and he pitched really well against a really good Forester team in his first start. Went 5, only gave up 1 run, and then he's been really dominant. Counting that start, he's only given up 1 run in his last 9 innings. With opponents on the season, opponents are only hitting 162, and the slugging percentage, he's really given up no damage, just 205. The issue for him though is throwing strikes. He does have a lot of walks, but if he's in the zone, as we saw against the Foresters, and as we've seen in his recent outings, he's really tough to hit, even when he is throwing pitches in the zone.
Absolutely. And then we've got a couple of position player groups to watch tonight, but it's more groups than it is individuals. I think the first group to watch is the middle infield, which Tyler Gordon is playing shortstop tonight and batting 9th, and Sheehan O'Connor is batting 8th and playing second base. These are 2 guys who are defense first guys, or at least they have been so far this season for the Saints. And when we talked to Tyler Gordon after the Saints 12-5 win against the Riptide, he said that it's a defensive combination he's really excited about. Gordon is pretty easily the Saints' best defender, but he's really excited about playing with O'Connor and says that, they're hoping to get a lot of double plays. He said something like they were talking about how they should get like 6 double plays a game. So we'll see if they can get that many. We'll see, how tonight goes. You need a ground ball pitcher really too to do that. But so their defense should be solid regardless. But they've also been hitting decently well, especially compared to the rest of the season. In that 12-5 win, it was one of Gordon's best offensive games. He had a 2-hit game. He had an RBI double, which he's not a huge extra base hit guy, so that was great to see. And Sheehan O'Connor, on the other hand, has been getting the extra base hits. He's had a couple multiple RBI extra base hits, including 2 triples and a double. So he's a guy who, may not have been as consistent with the bat, but when he gets a hold of one recently, it's done a lot of damage. So having him come up with runners in scoring position has always been a good outcome for the Saints. And then, there's kind of one other group of guys that we're going to be looking at tonight.
Yeah, that's right at the beginning and middle of the lineup, and that's going to be Alex Burge, Joey Craig, Joey Donnelly, and Josh Livingston. We talked to Burge, Donnelly, and Livingston after the 12-5 win against the Riptide, and as he said, when they hit in consecutive order in the lineup, They call themselves the Gauntlet, and then it's going to be interesting to see how Joey Craig does in the cleanup spot, since he's kind of been struggling at the plate recently, only hitting 125 after like I think it was his second game with the Saints where he went 2 for 2. But he does have a lot of talent. Obviously, he's getting a lot of starts, so it's good to see that Coach Aaron Milam believes in him, because I think, as we've seen earlier, he does have a good bat.
Absolutely. Joey Craig's a guy who has a lot of potential at bat. He's somebody who's had a game where he's gotten on base every time so far this season. And he's really a great team guy. He's a guy with a lot of potential. Obviously, he was at Houston the year prior to this summer, so he's obviously a guy who is a high D1 talent. And, he's joined the Saints really late in the season, so it's hard to blame him for getting off to a slow start. Everybody else is kind of already in a groove, and he's just trying to catch up. But, we really think that he could add to that gauntlet of 3 guys. I think, when we talked to the 3 guys, Birch, Donnelly, and Livingston, after that 12-5 win, they said that they hoped that they were hitting in consecutive order. Regardless of if that was 4-5-6, which is where they hit that night, or 3-4-5 or 7-8-9, and things have gotten a little messed up with Nick Lazara being out of the lineup recently. The lineup had been Lazara 3, Birch 4, Donnelly 5, and Livingston 6, which was kind of the deadly 3 combo in there, 4-5-6, and they thought maybe they'd get bumped up 3-4-5, but obviously with Livingston out, there's room for another bat in there, and so Milam has decided to put Joey Craig in the cleanup spot. And I think it could end up being a good move, and I think those 3 guys would absolutely welcome Craig into the lineup if he has a big night tonight. So we'll be on the lookout for that, and we might just have to do another gauntlet interview with the 4 of them if Craig can have a big night tonight. Yeah. So, but I think that's all the keys we have for tonight. Be sure to tune in on our YouTube, as always, with our lovely broadcasters, Adam Beck and Evan Davis. And shout out to David Matamoros as well. He's a guy who comes on the broadcast sometimes and does all the production side of things as well when he's not on the broadcast. So shout out to David. He's a part of the team as much as those other 2 guys are. And we'll be sharing our updates as well on social media all game long, on Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook, with the help of our lovely graphics interns as well, who we couldn't do without. And we hope to see you cheering on the Saints just as hard as we are. Go Saints.
Go Saints.
To Pasadena, California, 89 degrees on a terrific Tuesday for baseball. It's the 3rd and final meeting of this little mini series between the Riptide and the Arroyo Seco Saints. Saints coming in at 16-14, Riptide at 17-14, just a half game in front of the Saints in the standings. And it's Aiden Pollock on the bump. He'll face Patrick Hackworth to lead things off.
Yeah, and for Pollock coming into tonight, his second game started a 2.91 ERA it's just that strikeout to walk ratio that's really killed him. In 12 and a third innings of work, 15 strikeouts to 14 walks.
Hackworth tied second in the CCL in runs scored, tied for seventh in hits, and has a hit right there to start off his night. So Riptide aboard with a leadoff man. It's Patrick Hackworth with the single to right.
Yeah, went 2 for 4 in his last game against the Saints in that 12-5 loss here in Pasadena. Had the double, the RBI, and he got things started in the top of the first with a single, and he repeats history here just a few days later.
It's Luke Johnson in the 2-hole, J.C. Allen batting third, Rocco Gump fourth, Michael Diaz fifth, and then 6 through 9, Jack Hammond, Camden Bates, Matt Spear, and Matthew Thomas rounding out the lineup. Johnson, first pitch swinging, lifts one towards center field. Easton Elliott over there to make the grab, and one away here in the first. Elliott's in center, Craig in right, Jacob Shart in left field, and then behind the dish, Alex Burge with Aiden Pollock on the bump, Adrian Lopez at third base, Tyler Gordon at shortstop, Sheehan O'Connor at second, and Josh Livingston at first. Livingston, we've seen him play first base this season only once, but it is his natural position at Wichita State, kind of opts between first base and DH, also plays a little third base there, and even played second base for a couple games for the Shockers. As Allen lifts one right side, slicing foul.
Kind of surprised to see no Ace Reese in the lineup. He did struggle in that 12-5 loss here with that ground rule double being his lone hit, but this is a guy who carries a lot of power.
He also hit a double against the Saints in the 2-1 loss for Arroyo Seco just 2 nights ago. A really quick game, went about 2.5 hours just because of some stellar pitching between Sammy Kova and Carter Herrera, the two starters. Kova going 7 innings, only allowing 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 run total because of a couple Riptide errors. They had 4 in that ball game. Then Herrera went 6 innings, 1 earned run off a solo shot to left field from Camden Bates, but the 10 strikeouts were just stellar.
Yeah, put together a really, really nice outing, and Pollock now looking to respond, who had a really solid one against the Forcers back in his last start on July 10th, going 5 innings, allowing just 1 earned run on 4 hits, but it was the 5 strikeouts to 4 walks.
How about a happy birthday to Aiden Pollock, too? Celebrating the birthday today. Him and Cam Conley, the two Saints with the July 23rd birthday.
Yeah, gets a nice birthday bump and see how he responds with that little extra motivation.
And the last couple outings for him have been really, really solid. Had the nice start against the Foresters about 2 weeks ago. Played against the Oaks in the 18-12 game that has not quite finished yet. Hopefully we'll wrap that up tomorrow as the Saints go on the road to Thousand Oaks to face Conejo. Pollock's got that fastball sinker that sits in the low 90s. Also has the curveball slider. 1 out, 1 on. 3 balls, 1 strike to J.C. Allen. Pollock checks back at Hackworth. Go over there. Livingston makes the catch, but Hackworth back in time.
And for Hackworth, a guy with 7 stolen bases on the year, but just 2 in his last 10 games. Wonder really how aggressive he is, but he has the 3-1 count to work with.
Pollock does walk a slew of batters. Strike 2 on the inner corner. Really nice pitch.
And J.C. Allen was ready to toss the bat towards the dugout. 8 walks on the year for him to 10 strikeouts. Has a strikeout streak of 5 in a row.
And he's been dangerous in these past 2 games. His RBIs in 2 of his last 3. Had 3 RBIs versus the Saints in the first game of the series. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Aiden Pollock, happy birthday with his first strikeout of the evening.
So now six straight games with a strikeout for J.C. Allen, but nice job by Pollock to get back into the count on the 3-2 pitch and then execute that death pitch that he has. The off-speed really fooled Allen.
So Hackworth, the leadoff single. It's been a flyout for Luke Johnson and a strikeout for J.C. Allen. Brings up Rocco Gump. We haven't seen him the past 2 games. He's had 5 days off since his last appearance where he went 0 for 3 against the Ventura County Pirates. Hackworth steals. Burge, the throw is on, but not in time. So Hackworth into second base with the stolen bag.
Not the best throw from Burge, taking the 1 hop bounce, allowing Hackworth to steal, but the pop time from Burge is what really sticks out.
So runner in scoring position. Aiden Pollock has not allowed a single hit with a runner in scoring position all year. 2 balls, no strikes to Gump, the 2024 Southland Conference All-Defensive Team third baseman. He's on a little 3-game hitless drought, but was one of 6 Riptide players named to the CCL Showcase.
Still carries that .353 on base percentage.
.247 batting average, .309 slugging. A lot lower than he'd probably like. Only 5 doubles on the season. No other extra base hits. That's 3 straight balls to the third baseman. Saints are 4-2 against the Riptide this year, and they've been perfect at home. A flawless 3-0. Great Park has not treated them so great. Just 1-2 and 0-2 in their last 2 trips. There's a strike on the outer half, and it seems like that part of the plate is very forgiving.
Ooh. Looked like potentially ball 4 for Rocco Gump, a guy that, 20 strikeouts to 9 walks, so not a guy that walks a ton.
Does have 20 RBIs on the year, second on the team in RBIs, tied for 7th in the CCL. 3 balls, 1 strike. Watches strike 2. He flipped the bat, thought it was a walk, but no, sir. You got to go back to the batter's box.
Yeah, and another time where Pollock is really behind in the count, but then just finds a way to light it up and has now worked himself back into 2 separate 3-1 counts. The last one culminated in a strikeout.
So Hackworth on second after stealing his way over there after the leadoff single to right. Pollock trying to get out of the inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Rocco Gump, the third baseman. Pollock deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeout swinging by J.C. Allen and Rocco Gump. Aiden Pollock, happy birthday. 2 Ks in the first. We're headed to the bottom of the first here in Pasadena. Showcase earlier this week.
Currently riding a 6-game hit streak as that one sent up the middle. Gordon will fling that one on to second. Sheehan O'Connor on to first. Double play, and Spencer C.
Both are the highest marks on the team.
Burge sends that one into center field. Kemmerer looking back on it, and it's gone! Oppo Taco, Alex Burge, have yourself a last 48 hours. Saints grab the lead early, it's 2-0.
And Burge, Jacob Sharp took the home run lead for the Saints last night, and Alex Burge was like, no, I want that.
Around 8 strikeouts in his last 4 games, chops that one towards the second baseman. What a play by Sheehan O'Connor. Flings that one on to first, took it away. Livingston, adios. That ball is long gone, and that's a 7-4 lead for the Saints.
I mean, Burge and Livingston, they just have to hit home runs in the same inning. They just have to. It's like something's wrong if they don't. They've done it already once this season against the Riptide. Here for the second time, having a 2-run shot to right field. Wow, was he doing that a couple years ago?
He was, yep.
Walk, so an 0-for-2 night for him. That one is sky high into left field. Jacob Sharp running it down. What a catch.
And we talked time and time again, just for what could be an inning.
1-2, that one smoked to Gordon. Throws it on to first, my Lord. 1-2, that one is smoked into center field. Kemmerer looking back on it, and that one.
Back to baseball here in Pasadena. Time for the bottom of the first. Luis Becerra getting the start for the Riptide. A 2-0 record, a 4.44 ERA with 24 strikeouts, 6 walks, and he'll face Jacob Sharp leading things off. It's Easton Elliott batting the 2-hole, Burge in the 3 spot, and then Joey Craig, Joey Donnelly, Josh Livingston in the 4, 5, 6 spots. Adrian Lopez, Sheehan O'Connor, and Tyler Gordon rounding out the order.
So they'll face another CCL Showcase game member in Luis Becerra, the 4.44 ERA in his 7th start already. But you look at the strikeout to walks, 24-6.
Yeah, he's been fantastic at peppering the strike zones. Just got tough couple outings. Gave up 5 runs against the Barons as Sharp watches a pitch high. 5 runs against the Barons and just 4 1/3 back on July 10th. Then multiple earned runs and 3 appearances before that, too.
Yeah, you take a look at over the stretch of his last 3 starts, only 5 strikeouts in those 11 1/3 innings pitched, and prior to that, it was 3 straight of 4 or more.
Pitch inside, ball 3, and after being down in the count, Shart has worked it back to full. Talking about a guy who has struggled in July, only a .224 batting average in the month of July, .319 on the season, but works a leadoff walk, and that's a really nice at-bat for Jacob Shart, especially a guy who was only walking about 9% of his plate appearances in this month.
Yeah, had a few pitches inside, but nonetheless a really good eye at the plate.
Just the 7th walk of the season for Becerra in 28 1/3 innings. And Easton Elliott comes up to the dish, batting .344 in the year, .429 on base percentage, .851 OPS. But he has been really phenomenal in the last 5 games, hits in 4 of those after a 4-game hitless streak prior.
Yeah, you look at the numbers for Easton Elliott, batting now .310 on the season. During that 4-game hitless streak, we saw a batting average that was in the high 300s, creep down to .289, but after that 5-for-6 day that he had in that absolute slugfest with the Conejo Oaks, he's really gotten it up.
Hard hit past the shortstop in Camden Bates, hung up there for a second, didn't know if it was going to get down, but back-to-back base runners aboard. Easton Elliott does it via a little nice piece of hitting.
Yeah, and you just see the confidence is now there, and a runner in scoring position for Alex Burge, and we know the power that Burge displays. Oppo Taco in that last game here at home against the Riptide.
All 3 of his home runs this season have been against the Riptide in this ballpark. Batting .357 on the year against OC, a .471 on base percentage against the Riptide, 3 homers, 7 RBIs. It's made up all of his home runs on the season, and half his RBIs have been against this OC team. That's just in 4 of his 18 games played this season. Strike 1, outer half. Really feels like that left side of the plate from our perspective is quite open in terms of the strike zone.
Yeah, and it's equal for both pitchers, which is nice to see. Becerra definitely took note of the fact that he could get that outside pitch after watching Pollock in the top of the first.
Burge watches the off-speed in there for strike 2, quickly behind. No balls, 2 strikes, and he's going to want to forget that game in OC. Most of the Saints hitters will, the Riptide pitching limiting the Saints order to just 2 hits on the evening. He went 0 for 4 with a strikeout, but Burge leads the team in on-base percentage, leads the team in OPS. With over 1,000 OPS, fouls one back for staying alive in the count.
Yeah, definitely a game to forget for Alex Burge, but you just look at even games prior to that, really solid, obviously, in that July 20th game against the Riptide where he had the home run and the couple RBIs, and even prior to that with the Oaks, just really putting together beautiful pieces of hitting.
So runners on first and second, no outs. Becerra fires, Burge lifts right field, but into the glove of Chewy Thomas out there, so quickly one away here to bring up Joey Craig.
It was a hard hit contact that just found the glove of Thomas.
So Craig, who's been on a little bit of a struggle since joining the Saints, only hits in 2 of his last 5 appearances, batting .182, was at University of Houston, now going to New Mexico State, as he said that we were allowed to tell the people at home that a couple days ago.
Give the viewers what they want.
Hitless in his last 2. He'll have a runner in scoring position and a runner on first to battle. And Becerra has been nice here after the 2 base runners allowed. He's been throwing strikes.
Yeah, he's getting that nice out, but it was still pretty hard out just in terms of the loud contact.
No balls, 1 strike. Becerra fires. This one eats up Rocco Gump. It gets into the outfield, and the bases will be loaded. A rocket off the bat of Joey Craig, and the Saints could be in business.
Yeah, what a piece of hitting that was from Craig, and ruling it a single.
Yeah, you'd imagine it have to be, given how hard hit it was. Rocco Gump had almost no time to react, so make that his first hit in the last 3 games, including tonight. Craig is on base, and Joey Donnelly, who won the Saints Player of the Week for the 2nd straight week, is back at the dish.
Yeah, and in very convincing fashion did he win that. Went 1 for 4 in the game on Sunday night, but, prior to that, it was just absolutely mashing.
on an 8-game hit streak. High ball, right field. See you later. 4-0 Saints lead. Joey Donnelly, a grand slam in the first. Oh, my.
Yeah, that's one way to respond after winning Player of the Week. And whatever Joey Donnelly's been eating for breakfast these last 15 days, I mean, just continue that into your season at Cal Berkeley. This is a guy that has just really been putting bat to ball and is just an extra bases machine.
He has been slugging at his second home run of the year, make it now 19 RBIs on the season. He has been killing it at the plate, and Josh Livingston, you know how much he loves to bat in the first inning. He'll get an opportunity here. Unfortunately, nobody on for him.
Yeah, and for Luis Becerra, just, he had a pretty solid outing in his last one against the Ventura County Pirates, going 3 innings, no earned runs allowed, but, this is another start where, similar to the Barons, just giving up a lot of runs, and 5 earned runs in that Barons start on July 10th, already working with 4 earned runs here.
Drive towards right field, a little bloop in there, and Josh Livingston reaches base. So how about that? Out of the first 6 batters, 5 of them have reached base safely.
And I don't know what it is about playing at home lately, but this Saints offense just seems to come alive.
Yeah, I'm just trying to fill in my scorecard here with all the runs, and Josh Livingston was like, "No, I gotta add something more for you to do."
And the man who made the batting glove trade with him, Adrian Lopez, who's rocking Livingston's old batting gloves right now.
Looks like a little meeting in the middle. The second grand slam of the season that we have seen. First was Shart in the first game between these two squads. Just a few nights ago, had that grand slam, part of, 3 home runs in that one with Burge, Livingston, and Shart all slapping ones over the fence. And this time it's Joey Donnelly to just make the first inning very, very interesting.
Yeah, and for Donnelly, how about a 321 batting average right now? Both him and Livingston with a 321.
Yeah, and it's even higher if you include the stats that are not quite found its way into point streak against the Oaks. Up to 341, a 442 on base percentage too. And he has been absolutely eating at the plate.
Yeah, now you're talking about 13 extra base hits, but 8 of those just within these last handful of games.
First pitch to Adrian Lopez, low and away for ball 1.
And Lopez, another guy with a really high on-base percentage, nearing 400. The OPS only at 750, but it just, even the on-base streak that we continue to talk about, what is it, at 11 games now?
Yeah, 11-game reach base streak, has hits in 8 of his last 9, a 429 on-base percentage in that span. And it looks like a completely different hitter at the plate in terms of what we saw about 3 weeks ago to now.
Yeah, and the whole on-base streak, it's just because if he's not able to put ball in play, that's okay. He still finds other ways to get on base.
Yeah, the strikeouts still have been a problem, still tied for the team lead in strikeouts. Ball 3 low. But his eye has been so much better as the season has progressed, and it's been noticeably different. In those last 9 games where he's got hits in 8 of them, striking out in 23%, 24% of his plate appearances, where on the season 29%. Slaps one foul, 3 balls, 1 strike. And Coach Aaron Milam down the third base line is like, why were you swinging at that?
He was just a tad early on that swing, but definitely went golfing for it. Just a little bit low and away, but that's just the off-speed ability from Becerra.
Yeah, Becerra has the stuff. Saints have seen him well, though, in this inning.
Coach Aaron Milam is just saying, you swung at ball 4. We could have had, we could have runners on first and second.
Swings again, and count is full.
Lopez is just a little bit early. You see the contact that he's making. He's just unfortunately not timing it properly. But if he did, that was a hard hit ball past third. It just, was on the left side of the left side and not the right side of the foul line.
He's also played the Riptide pretty well this year. 353 batting average, 421 on base heading into this one. And there's ball 4 inside, so mistakes won't cost him. Lopez has tied as first on the team in walks with now 19 of them.
And how about a 12-game on-base streak? And for Becerra, you need to pitch low and hopefully double up Sheehan O'Connor, because this is just looking like a really, really ugly inning.
And O'Connor's been hot of late, a little 3-game hit streak. Has 3 consecutive games with an extra base hit and an RBI. Had the double in the July 20th game against the Riptide here. Had a pair of triples in back-to-back games against the Barons and Oaks. He's really been better at the plate in terms of starting things off with no hits in 3 straight games, and he's found hits in his last 3. No balls, 1 strike to O'Connor. Still striking out in a good amount of plate appearances, 35% on the young season for him. Only 20 plate appearances. Got here pretty late. This is just his 7th game of the summer. 4-0 the score after the Joey Donnelly blast to right center.
And we talk about just standing implications. This game is just so big. These teams will play one more time next Saturday, or this upcoming Saturday, pardon me. And just with how neck and neck this season has been for both of these teams, every game matters.
Connor swing and a miss for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes for the middle infielder. It's Tyler Gordon on deck. Saints trying to bat around here in this first inning. Sarah checks back on Livingston at second. Fires home. Strike 3 looking. And Sheehan O'Connor goes down on strikes for the 8th time this season.
What a pitch from Becerra just to locate that fastball right at the knees. For Becerra, he might have been hoping O'Connor swings at that, potentially drop a double play, but you'll take out number 2 nonetheless.
So Tyler Gordon, the shortstop, who's been better of late in his last 5. He's got hits in 4 of those contests, 5 hits in that span, a .313 batting average, .421 on base percentage. As runners go, Livingston, oh wow, that throw beat him by a mile. And the Saints will strand 2 runners on bases with the aggressive base running. They continue to hit on 17, and it continues to fail. 4-0 though the score. Joey Donnelly has the Saints in front.
Oh! Get out. One neck. Go safe, baby. Hurt. Away. Oh. Get out. Ball. That ball's going down. Leave us. Hell yeah, Joey! Stand up for it. TG, sit down. No, it's not a shoot yet. Yeah, I know. That's fun. Adrian.
So top 2 here in Pasadena. Michael Diaz playing center field. Starting things off for the Riptide. Appears Tyler Gordon's going to be at second base tonight, and Sheehan O'Connor, originally those 2 were flip-flopped, but Gordon will get the shorter throw, maybe, keep the arm a little looser. And O'Connor, he's been working over there at shortstop a ton since he's gotten here in terms of ground balls before games, and he'll get the nod over there.
Yeah, to your point, I do think it might be about, just workload for Gordon, who, we still might have that nagging ankle injury that he suffered when running to first base. He had that incredible diving catch the last time these 2 teams played here in Pasadena.
Yeah, he's been stellar defensively the past week or so, or since, honestly, he's been a staple in the lineup. 2 balls, no strikes to Diaz, ball 3 high and outside. So after a good first inning for Aiden Pollock, picked up back-to-back strikeouts to strand Patrick Hackworth at second base.
Yeah, he is just struggling a bit with the command. 10 balls to just 8 strikes.
A 3-0 outside ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Michael Diaz. And in back-to-back innings, the Riptide leadoff batter is aboard. So it'll bring up Jack Hammond. And Diaz, you know, is a guy that could steal a base, has 6 on the year. This is a Riptide team that doesn't steal a ton of bases. Hammond has hits in 5 of his last 6, 6 of his last 8. Has 1 hit in each of the last 2 games against Arroyo Seco, batting .224 on the year with a .338 on-base percentage.
You see over his last 6 games, the batting average just continuing to increase and increase. The on-base percentage as well.
So it's 5 straight balls to start this inning from Aiden Pollock. Diaz on first base. Saints are 4-2 against the Riptide this year, trying to make it 5-2 and claim back the 3rd spot in the CCL South. Currently, these two teams just half a game difference. Riptide have the lead, given that the Saints' 18-12 game against the Oaks hasn't quite completed yet.
And a nice, smart move from Alex Burge just to settle things down for Pollock, who has now thrown 6 straight balls to open up this frame and just hasn't really had the command overall in this one. And, you know, we know Coach Aaron Milam's rule. Instead of 3 strikes, you're out. It's 8 balls in a row and you're out.
Yeah, I don't know if that applies even this deep into the season. Definitely at the start of the season, that's the thing. But 4-0, the Saints lead thanks to the Joey Donnelly grand slam in the bottom of the first. And there, Aiden Pollock won't have to worry, as it's 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, gets Hammond to chop at that one.
Hammond averaging a strikeout per game, 16 Ks and 16 appearances. Tonight is his 17th game so far this season for the Riptide.
Yeah, 3 of his last 10 with multiple strikeouts.
Oh, and that's a really nice pitch by Pollock, but a tad low. Feels like it might have nibbled the lower corner, but just off the edge. So Diaz at first after the leadoff walk, and Pollock in danger of walking back-to-back batters. 3-1, outside ball 4, and Jack Hammond reaches base safely via the walk. So that's kind of been the thing with Aiden Pollock, hasn't it, in terms of really good stuff. He gets the strikeouts, but he does walk a lot of batters.
Yeah, that's, to your point, yeah, that is the issue for Pollock, who has the 2 strikeouts to now 3 walks. So, you know, kind of evening out his totality of strikeouts to walks with now 17 strikeouts, 17 walks.
So here comes the danger man, the shortstop, Camden Bates from the University of Tennessee. Was productive as a first pitch ball low to Bates. Was productive in the game against the Saints 2 nights ago in Orange County. Great Park in Irvine was responsible for both runs, hit the home run off Carter Herrera in the middle of that game, and then scored the winning run courtesy of a Max Senesac RBI single walk-off.
Yeah, broke a 3-game hitless streak. Had hits in his first 3 games. First game of the season was against the Slow Blues on July 9th, and went on a bit of a cold streak, and then maybe picking things up back here.
To make that no hits in 3 of his last 4 for Bates, but he's found ways to be productive against this Saints squad. 3 balls, no strikes. And so the second inning has not been so clean for Aiden Pollock.
Yeah, just 1 strike thrown in this inning.
3-0 way inside. Scary moment, but Bates able to limbo out of it. So bases loaded for the 8-hole hitter Matt Spear, who's transferring to the University of Michigan.
Batting 8th from Michigan, catcher, number 29, Matt Spear.
Looks like meeting on the bump now as Coach Stone going out to talk to Aiden Pollock, the infield coming in. You just, in terms of this is the last week of the season, the Saints only have a couple games left, currently at 16-14. 5.5 games left, you could say. 5 games in an inning to play.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll face the Oaks at least 2 more games in totality. They'll face the Riptide one more time and the Barons as last week of the season is going to be so interesting in terms of playoff seeding, and it's really going to be a joust between the Riptide and Saints in terms of who gets to host a wild card playoff game.
Yeah, this final week, as you mentioned, just so important. And tonight's game, probably one of the more important games that the Saints just need to have, especially here at home.
Yeah, only one more game at home after this, against the Barons on Friday, before facing OC on Saturday in Irvine, and then traveling to Cal Lutheran on Sunday to face the Oaks. So bases loaded for Matt Spear. First pitch strike, goes off speed there. And that's huge for Aiden Pollock to get ahead in the count. No balls, one strike.
Yeah, interesting to see that the infield's not playing in. You figured they would, just given that the force out is at home.
There's strike two. So it seems like the off-speed stuff is working for Aiden Pollock. Spear still, searching for his first extra base hit of the season. Only his 10th appearance. 31st at bat. Bases loaded. No balls, 2 strikes. Pollock fires. Hard hit right side. Great play by Josh Livingston onto second base. Back onto first. And how about that? A nice little 3-6-3 double play. The Riptide get 1, but the Saints get 2 outs.
Yeah, you'll absolutely take that. What a highlight reel play from Josh Livingston, who's playing at the other hot corner this time, and you'll take that run. If you're Aiden Pollock, you had nobody out and the bases loaded, but they score 1, but now you got 2 outs. So all you got to worry about is the batter.
So Pollock fires back, another strike, and that's a huge boost for the Saints defense. And it feels like the defense for the Saints has been so impressive. After 18 straight games with at least an error, no errors in its last 2 as a swing and a miss by the 9-hole hitter Matthew Thomas. Thomas hitless in his last 6 games, 0 for his last 18. No balls, 2 strikes. Inside, just inside. Pollock thought he had it, was walking off the bump.
Yeah, it was dancing off, but for Pollock, you just feel like he won that at-bat against Spear. Just to get the double play, it's exactly what you want in that scenario.
1 ball, 2 strikes, lifted right side, trailing into foul territory, and Livingston will have to watch it trail out of play. So after 2 strikes to Matthew Thomas, a ball and then a foul ball, as this will be the 5th pitch of the at-bat. Saints, talking about the defense, only 4 errors in its last 6 games, including the 18-12 one. Left side, Adrian Lopez onto first, and the Saints get out of it. The bases loaded, no outs. Aiden Pollock only gives up 1 run. Bottom 2 coming up here in Pasadena. Saints lead 4-1.
Coming in this game, he has a 400 on-base percentage. He's going to get up with the 2 hits he has. He lines one.
That one's belted to right field, and that one is gone! How about Josh Livingston getting things started here for the Saints? He ropes a home run right over the right field. Jake Brown looking up. That one is gone! An opposite field home run! Alex Burge.
First Pickles, then Oppo Tacos. How about that for Alex Burge? Hit the home run to right. He was like, nah. I'm going to hit one to left now. How about a 3-run blast for the backstop?
Booms that one to right field. Matthew Thomas will just have to look back. That one is gone. Welcome to the game, Colton Dahl. Jacob Shart with a 3-run home run, the second 3-run home run of the game, and the lead continues to balloon. It's 9-1.
I mean, off the bat, you knew that one.
Bottom 2 here in Pasadena. 4-1 lead for the Saints. It's been a lot of offense so far. A Joey Donnelly grand slam in the bottom of the first. And then the Riptide had the bases loaded in the top half of this inning, but a nice job defensively by the Saints to only allow 1 run. Luis Becerra will face Tyler Gordon, whose at-bat was cut short after Josh Livingston tried to steal third base.
Yeah, for the Saints defense, ever since they moved Adrian Lopez to third and they kept a middle infield of Tyler Gordon, Sheehan O'Connor, and Cam Conley in some order, you just feel like the defense has really jumped up to the next level.
Yeah, no errors in back-to-back contests after errors in 18 straight. It's just mind-boggling. 2 balls, 1 strike. To Gordon. Gordon batting 172 on the year, 316 on base percentage. Has a 1 extra base hit, which was a double a couple nights ago against the Riptide here in Pasadena. Hits in 5 of his last 8 after a 4-game hitless streak. There's ball 3 just low and away. That's a really nice take from Gordon.
Yeah, he really forces a pitcher to throw him a strike. Just see sometimes his inability to swing the bat, but it's always a good thing.
And there's the walk. Nice job by Tyler Gordon to work the count and get another walk off Luis Becerra, his 3rd issued so far in this ballgame.
Yeah, talk about a batting average at 187 for Gordon, but an on-base percentage well above 300.
So back to the top of the lineup, Jacob Shart, who went 0 for 4, only his 7th game of the season without a hit. Last time out against the Riptide. He's played the most games of the season for the Saints, 28 in total. Only Saint with over 100 at-bats, has 25 more plate appearances than the next closest Saints hitter. Leads the team in home runs, slugging, RBIs, extra base hits. He's been the Saints' best hitter this season, but the month of July, he struggled. High fly ball, right field. Oh my, Jacob Shart making me eat my words. See you later. Another home run, his 5th of the season, as the Saints offense continuing to come to life. 6-1 here in Pasadena.
And he pimped that, and respectfully so. I mean, that one was just deleted off the bat.
Effortless power from number 14. Saints lead by 5 now with Easton Elliott back to the dish. Make that home runs in 3 of his last 4 contests for Shart after home runs in back-to-back games against the Oaks and Riptide in the first of this 3-game set. And after going 0 for 4 last time against OC, Jacob Shart, you knew he was out for revenge.
Yeah, how about 102 off the bat and 373 to right field? I mean, he has just been incredible. And to your point that you just made, the 3 home runs in his last 4 games, he doesn't like it when he's tied on the team in home runs. He wants to make sure within the next game or two that that lead is rightfully his.
And that actually happened in the dugout a couple nights ago when Shart, Burge, and Livingston all hit home runs. Livingston and Burge hit their home runs prior to Shart hitting his 4th of the season. And Burge and Livingston were kind of joking with him in the dugout, being like, yeah, we all got 3 now. And just a couple minutes later, Shart went, yeah, no. You guys don't have 4. I have 4. And now Shart's got 5. So Easton Elliott back to the dish for his 2nd plate appearance. Singled in his last one.
Just a nightmarish start here for Becerra, who has just been giving up a lot of loud contact swings. Even the singles have kind of been belted off the bat. Obviously, the 2 home runs already.
This one chopped right back over the shortstop. Bates coming in on it, flings onto first. Really nice play by Bates to get the first out of the inning.
Elliott with the speed, but just a nice play by Bates, understanding the fact that he knows who's the runner.
So Alex Burge, the catcher, who the only one of 2 Saints in the first inning to not reach base safely, flew out to right field. Sheehan O'Connor was the other who struck out. Sarah first pitch low and in on Burge, and just have a feeling that if this Saints power continues, it's going to be good signs as the season winds down in terms of postseason play. Feels like they found their power shoes of late. 1 ball, no strikes. Becerra flings outer half for strike 1.
We've seen Burge over, maybe these last 10 games kind of come back down to earth. There was you know, at one point where he had just exponentially more walks than strikeouts. Now that number's kind of evened out.
Exactly, is evened out. 15 strikeouts to 16 walks, roughly equivalent. He's got strikeouts in 6 of his last 8, 14 strikeouts in his last 14 games, striking out in 21.5% of his plate appearances in that span. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 2. It's been the strikeouts of late, the walks early, but the power and overall hitting from Burge has been impeccable. In that 18-12 game that's to be wrapped up tomorrow, I mean, reached base in all 6 of his at-bats. As
he thought about it.
It's way inside. Good that he laid off. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Home runs in back-to-back innings for the Saints here in Pasadena. Chopped right over to Bates. This one eats him up just off the glove, so Alex Burge on his way to second base, hustling there, and he'll be on to second with an error from Bates. So after 4 errors in the last meeting between these two teams, OC continuing to struggle here with a error there from Camden Bates, allowing this Saints squad to get another runner on the base paths. It's back to Joey Craig in the cleanup spot. Had that single back in the first.
Talk about a heads-up high IQ play by Alex Burge to recognize the fact that that ball got into the shallow part of the outfield, and he put on the wheels as soon as he realized.
Tough play for Bates over there at shortstop. Looked pretty routine. Ball had a weird hop over his glove, and Saints are knocking on the door for more. Craig fouls one left side. 1 ball, 1 strike. For Joey Craig, it was fun catching up with him a couple days ago in terms of his process on his glove, which is a University of Houston glove. Obviously hasn't quite gotten his New Mexico State one yet, so we'll get that one next year. But he's got just an alter on it, just the mantra for who he is as a person, the way he lives his life and plays baseball, continuously adapting to the way that the game comes at him.
He also has the Lenny and Larry's cookies.
Does also have the Lenny and Larry's cookies. And that honestly might be even more important in terms of pregame snacks.
Those are, ooh.
Or midgame snacks.
Yeah.
Never know. Hard swing left side, gets past Gump. And it'll be runners on the corners as the Saints offense continuing to hum.
And it's 2 singles past the third baseman's glove of Rocco Gump, and it's just really struggled to get that glove down on the dirt.
Looks like some action in the bullpen for the Riptide. This could be a call to the pen, as it feels like it's probably the 3rd meeting, and it is going to be a call to the pen. That will be the end of Luis Becerra's night. Only goes 1 1/3 inning, allowing 6 runs, a slew of hits, walks, only 1 strikeout. We'll take a quick step aside. The Riptide go to the bullpen here. 6-1 Saints on top in the second.
My name is Tyler Gordon.
My name is Adrian Lopez, and this is Riptide Dex with the Saints.
I have Spencer Torkelson from the Tigers. He went to ASU.
I got 2009 most valuable players. American League is at Joe Mauer, and National League Albert Pujols.
I got Lawrence Butler, rookie card actually from the Athletics.
I got Walker Buehler, signed card. That's pretty sick. I'm a big Dodgers fan, so that's pretty cool.
I got Rafael Devers from the Red Sox. Fun fact, when I went to Fenway like 5 years ago, he threw me a ball.
I got Jacob Lopez, a pitcher from the Rays. Last name is Lopez. Might be related, might not.
I got Matt McClain on the Reds. He's from Orange County, just like me.
This is the Diamondbacks catcher, Gabriel Moreno.
Tanner Beebe, the Guardians pitcher.
I got an outfielder, Robbie Grossman from the Rangers.
Pretty good pitcher, Brady Singer on the Royals.
I got a catcher from the Pirates, Jason Delay.
Isaac Paredes on the Rays, leading fielder.
I got Francisco Mejia, a catcher for the Rays.
And then my last card is Justin Steele on the Cubs. He threw a complete game today against the Angels.
I got Chris Bassett for the Blue Jays.
Pretty cool little deck. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Big fan of that Walker Buehler one.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. First and third for Mr. Grand Slam himself, Joey Donnelly, after going yard, clearing the bases back in the first. He'll face Nathan Hoy, the replacement for Luis Becerra. Hoy, 1-1 record, has not allowed an earned run yet this year in 5 appearances. 6 1/3 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts to 5 walks, and of course, the Riptide bringing a lefty against the Saints lineup.
Well, he'll face back-to-back lefties in Donnelly and Livingston.
Donnelly wanting to hammer one deep once again, this time just deep into the air over to first base, and J.C. Allen has the second out of the inning in his glove.
Well, it's exactly why you bring in the lefty-on-lefty matchup. You know, Joey Donnelly just got on top of it a little got under it a little bit too much.
If he got on top of it, I would have liked to see what it was if he
No,
got
yeah,
under it.
no, my bad. A little bit too under on that swing.
So no balls, no strikes as Josh Livingston hops into the batter's box. Big opportunity to continue to add to his RBI tally, his hit tally. Picked up the single, was caught stealing earlier, strike one swinging. Livingston has reached base in 17 of his last 19 now, and the 18 games prior, 16 of his last 18. .449 on base percentage in that span. Has struggled in his last 7 entering tonight after a 7-game hit streak. Only a .250 batting average compared to the roughly .330 batting average as the runner goes. Ball gets past the catcher, and they're going to call time as it got wedgied into the netting. So runners will just advance 90 feet. Burge comes home, 7-1 ball game, and Joey Craig is on his way back to second.
You know, we only usually see wedgies in basketball, but to see one in baseball, you know, pretty cool. And so it'll be another run in. The Saints now lead 7-1, but you see something new every day at the ballpark.
And just continuously, the mistakes from this Riptide squad have really hampered things in terms of, you know, Burge, the reach on an error, right? Got to second base on an error from Camden Bates, and then obviously that would have ended the inning on the Joey Donnelly pop out. So it would have been a 6-1 ball game, and we would have already been on the way to the third. But instead, it's 7-1, and the Saints are still batting here. Craig on his way, hit and run. He's going to have to do the hurdle over the ball. He probably could have gone home. He's going to go home, and the throw will not even come. As the Saints 8-1, Josh Livingston, another RBI, 14. He's in his last 19 games now, RBIs in 14 of them.
Talk about the acrobatics of Joey Craig, who smartly hops over the ball so there's no runner's interference, assures that he touches third base and was still able to make it home. So 8-1, and the second inning isn't even over yet.
2-for-2 game already for Josh Livingston. This Saints offense, oh my, they're just moving like a well-oiled machine. Saints are 12-2 when scoring 6 or more runs. That's been more or less the magic number so far this season. There's a strike from Hoy to Adrian Lopez.
Still awaiting the Conejo Oaks game where, you know, they have 18 runs in that one.
Feels like Craig might be on a plane to Paris if he can do the hurdles like that. 2 outs here. Lopez lifts one towards right field.
Matthew Thomas coming in on it, and that's the final out of the inning, but not before the Saints tack on 4 more. How about a 4 spot in the first, answered by a 4 spot in the second? Luis Becerra is out of this ballgame. We're headed to the third here in Pasadena. Saints lead by 7.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it will score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound, and the Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Rio didn't get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the ninth for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for this Saints. So back to the top of the lineup for the Riptide as we enter the 3rd inning. Patrick Hackworth on a 12-game base streak after the single back in the first. Has reached base in his last 12 now. It's in 10 of his last 11. Strike 1 from Aiden Pollock. And Aiden Pollock, I mean, he's got the lead to work with now.
Yeah, he's in the driver's seat. It's just still the command that has really been in question tonight, is that fastball way outside for ball 1. But you know, does he have the distance to go the 5 innings needed for the win? Only time will tell.
It's 1 ball, 1 strike to Hackworth. Swings back, foul. Hackworth just one of 2 guys on this Riptide squad that has a batting average above 300. Ace Reese the other. Hackworth now the leader in batting average. Came into tonight tied with Ace Reese. Reese not in the lineup, and Hackworth singled back in the first, so he'll take the batting title back in terms of who leads the Riptide in batting average.
Yeah, Hackworth now up to 376 on the season, and both of his at-bats, his first at-bats here in Pasadena, starting off with a single, one into left and this one into right.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Oh, just off the edge. Nice pitch from Pollock, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Hackworth was one of 6 Riptide players named to the CCL showcase, was a starter in the bottom half of the lineup. Second baseman tonight. He was the DH a couple nights ago back here in Pasadena, as there's a walk on a full count to Hackworth. And I mean, we've mentioned Pollock's walk issues. Is averaging over a walk an inning. Gives up a walk here in the 3rd.
Yeah, still looking for his first clean inning in this one. Thankfully, with the bases loaded in the top of the 2nd and nobody out, only surrendering 1 run, which any pitcher will absolutely take. Getting that double play from Josh Livingston, and just really got into it.
Hackworth goes, Burge the throw way outside, and that ball's into center field, but it's good that it had so much velocity that it got to Easton Elliott quickly. Nonetheless, Hackworth on his way to 3rd, so mark that down as an error for Alex Burge, and there's a runner on 3rd base.
Yeah, his 2 throws down to 2nd have just not been what we're used to seeing from Alex Burge. You know, usually a catcher with really nice pop time and accuracy, but I mean, that one was nowhere near the bag of 2nd.
Nope. No balls, 1 strike. 8-1 the score as this Saints squad has found its offensive juice in these past 4 games or so. Swing and a miss from Luke Johnson. I mean, last game against these 2 teams, it was a pitcher's duel to say the least, a 2-1 final with the Riptide winning in extras. 10th inning walk-off winner for Max Senesac, who's not in the lineup tonight. Senesac brought in Camden Bates off a single past Joey Donnelly at first base. Johnson chops one in the infield. Lopez coming in on it, tried to barehand it, but Johnson will reach with an infield single. Don't really think you can rule that an error on Lopez.
Yeah, that one just took a weird bounce at the last second when Lopez was trying to barehand it. You could see it kind of like ricocheted to the right of him.
Looks like a conversation between the umpires here. Maybe it was a fouled off his foot or something. Don't really know what other conversation they could be having.
I mean, that would be the only probable one.
And it seems like he's going to stay at first base. So Johnson aboard with a infield single. J.C. Allen out the dish. Struck out back in the first inning, but he has been lethal against this Saints squad. Has hits in both of the games against Arroyo Seco. Picked up a 1-for-4 day on Sunday against the Saints in Irvine, but the 3-for-4 day with 3 RBIs in Pasadena is really what stands out.
And Hackworth didn't advance home, so Pollock still has a chance to get out of this inning unscathed. Obviously no outs, but no runners have come across.
Double play back in the second inning was huge to get Pollock out of a big pickle. 1-1 strike now as Pollock's able to locate on the outer half.
He's already got J.C. Allen swinging on strikes once before, so now 11 strikeouts in what is his 18th game of the season, and just really batting a sublime 182.
1-1, hammered right back up Main Street. 8-2 ball game here. Elliott a little trouble in center, but runners won't advance first and second now. No outs here in the third. So an RBI single for J.C. Allen. Make that now 4 RBIs in this series against the Saints. 5 in Allen's last 4 games. Hard swing by Rocco Gump, left center field. Nice play by Jacob Sharp to track it down. Throws back over to second base. Ball a little bit off the mark, or else he might have been able to double him up.
Wow, what a read by Jacob Sharp. Immediately off the bat, his first instinct was to go get that ball back, and he almost had the double play opportunity. I mean, Luke Johnson certainly thought that ball was going to be heading into the gap.
Pollock, second start of the season. It hasn't been the smoothest so far. It's been up and down, giving up a slew of base runners, but does have a 6-run cushion. 8-2 score here as Michael Diaz watches ball 1 high and away. Diaz leads the team in doubles with 9, extra base hits with 11. Second on the team in strikeouts, batting .261 on the year, a .368 on base percentage. Hard swing for strike 1, 1-1 strike.
Nasty on the off speed.
Diaz has been on a hot streak of late. Went 0-for-4 in his last appearance against Arroyo Seco in Irvine. But he's got hits in 8 of his last 9. 1-1 strike. Nice pitch by Pollock there for strike 2.
And the way Pollock has responded to the adversity that he's faced, I mean, if he walks away from this inning with only 1 earned run allowed, I'm sure everyone in that Saints dugout will take it.
8-2 score. Pollock fires off speed low. Had really good bite to it. Looked like it was going to be a strike for a second and then just bombs away right down past the plate.
Yeah, and got Diaz to bite on the first one, but didn't get him on that last pitch.
Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 on here. As Diaz lays off the inside juice. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Count is now full.
Tried to get him again, and that one was a better placed pitch. Just didn't get that lower part of the zone.
So payoff pitch upcoming. Pollock taking his time, checks back on second. Slings the 3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. His 3rd strikeout of the evening. A huge one for Aiden Pollock.
Strikeout number 30 on the season for Michael Diaz, who has now struck out in 30 of his 90 plate appearances.
Now on an 8-game strikeout streak. started the streak off with a 4-strikeout game against the Barons, and he had that 3-strikeout performance against the Saints a couple nights ago. Now Jack Hammond with 2 on, 2 outs here in the third. Hammond walked in his first plate appearance, was stranded at third base
Left fielder, number 38.
to end the inning after a Matthew Thomas ground out. Pollock will face the righty here, a little righty-on-righty matchup. Hammond, a rising senior at Cal State Long Beach. First pitch inside, strike one.
Had that 5-pitch walk in his first at-bat, and coming into tonight, only 6 walks in 16 games with a strikeout per game.
Checks back on second. Pollock fires home. Hammered right back up the middle into center field. Elliott chasing it. It'll score a run. A RBI single. Nice throw from Elliott, but the speed on the base paths too much as the Riptide get one back. Nice play by Luke Johnson rounding the bases there.
Hammond just got that one off the edge of his bat and found a hole in between center field and right field. And nice throw by Easton Elliott, who nearly got the runner out.
Shortstop, number 15, Camden Bates.
So Camden Bates now coming back for his second plate appearance. Walked back in the second. Was stranded on base as or wasn't stranded on the base, was caught out on the 3-6-3 double play ball. There's strike one.
Yeah, walked in his first at-bat, so now an even 8 walks to 8 strikeouts on the season. But still with that sub-200 batting average.
Pollock checks back on second. Bates fouls one back. Trajan Lee will go to collect it as we'll get an opportunity to talk to Lee later in this ball game. Second time we've gotten to speak to him this season. He's got a start tomorrow. Should be fun to pick his brain and feel how the season is going for him.
Yeah, finally a start not against the Academy Barons.
So 2 runs have scored in this inning for the Riptide. They've got it back to 5, but the Saints still have 8 on the board. 2 outs, 1 ball, 2 strike. Pollock trying to strike out Camden Bates. Already has 3 strikeouts on the evening. 1-2, hair inside, ball 2, and count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. A little bit of a breeze here in Pasadena. Gusts of up to 10 miles per hour tonight, but it's been pretty quiet so far in this one in terms of the wind. 2-2. Did he go? He didn't. Oh, the check down to the first base umpire. Pollock thought he was out of it. Bates will live another day. Bates had that 3-game hit streak to start his season. No hits in 3 of his last 4. Did walk back in the second. Payoff pitch, 2 outs. Runners will be going. Chopped right back up the middle to Pollock. He'll punch it over to first. And Aiden Pollock, through 3 innings, swims away from the danger. It's 8-3, Saints lead. 8-9-1 due up for the Saints in the third. 8-3 ball game. First pitch, swing and a miss for Sheehan O'Connor, who went down on strikes looking back in the first inning. It's Nathan Hoy back out for his potentially first full inning of work. Went 2/3 of an inning after being the bullpen call for Luis Becerra, who just went 1 1/3 with 6 hits allowed, 6 runs, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. I guess eight earned runs, actually.
They count those other 2. I guess they did. Well, it says for me, at least on the point streak, it says 8 runs, 6 earned. So
Yeah, okay.
I guess pick your poison.
Nonetheless, a tough start for Becerra, who had the inflated ERA coming into this one anyway, and it will not improve.
You just wonder how long. Nice play by Milam, Coach Aaron Milam. But you wonder how long Nathan Hoy goes. I mean, for the Riptide, not ideal for him to be in during the second inning.
No, especially a guy who has not really gone that much distance-wise this season, as Sheehan O'Connor fouls one back to stand alive to count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hoy hasn't gone more than 2 innings this season. Has a pair of 2-inning outings, one against the Saints on June 29th in Pasadena, an 11-4 Riptide loss. Saints up by 5. 2 balls, 2 strikes, swing and a miss. So Sheehan O'Connor, it's not been a night for him to remember so far. A strikeout swinging and a strikeout looking. Tyler Gordon on deck.
The strikeouts continue to be a little bit of an issue for O'Connor to begin his CCL career.
And now to 9 strikeouts and 22 plate appearances. Does have the extra base hit potential with extra base hits in his last 3, but so far in this one has not swung that way. 8-3 ball game. Tyler Gordon. First pitch inside, ball 1 from Nathan Hoy.
Yeah, had a really nice at-bat, getting that walk. He's kind of just a guy that does everything that he's asked to do.
Hard hit right back up the middle. Bates on it. Cut on, and what a play by Bates over there at shortstop. Toning for the error earlier in this ball game. Steals a hit away from Tyler Gordon.
God, that looked like a base hit up the middle. And instead, Bates just saves the day, responds after that error, to your point.
So Jacob Shart, who has 2 runs in this game, a 2-run moonshot to right field back in the second, and he will bat for the 3rd consecutive inning here in the 3rd. 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch way inside for ball 1.
You mentioned that 2-run homer to right. His at-bats as of late have just looked marvelous.
It feels like it's just so effortless for him in terms of the power he's able to generate. Doesn't take huge swings in terms of really trying to swing hard to generate power. It's his mechanics that are just so fluid. Now 2nd in the CCL in home runs. 2nd in RBIs now with 30. Came in tonight 4th in hits with 36 of them, now up to 37.
And Nathan Hoy just really struggling with command in this at-bat, but, I mean, no surprise. It's Jacob Shart, and you have first base open with 2 outs.
Shart has also been good in terms of RBIs. His RBIs are now 7 of his last 9. He's got hits in 7 of his last 8 as well. It's just been resurgence for Shart after a little bit of a, returning back down to earth.
I mean, he showed he was human for a handful of games, for maybe like 5 games.
Yeah, still go back to that 4 extra base hit game in Compton as he works another walk. So 2 walks and a 2-run moonshot tonight for Jacob Shart. It's a good night to be Jacob Shart at the plate.
Yeah, and the on-base percentage probably will go to 400. It was creeping at that number coming into tonight, but now has reached base safely in all 3 of his at-bats. But I think if you're Nathan Hoy, to what I said, you got first base open in 2 outs. Do you really want to be pitching to Jacob Shart?
It's not like Easton Elliott's much easier. 1 for 2 in this ball game, has a run scored, tied for first in the CCL in stolen bases. So in terms of getting him on base, Saints are always aggressive, but he's played a new position in 19 of his last 20 games. Played center field in back-to-back games versus the Oaks and Riptide a couple nights ago. But he's just been dynamic, and he's been all over the field for the Saints. Dangerous hitter, too. 344 batting average, 429 on base percentage, 851 OPS. Lays off the high heat, 2 balls, no strikes. This would be a huge one if the Saints could hang on. Obviously early here, just the 3rd inning. But in terms of playoff seeding and where they could potentially play playoff games, Saints would much rather play at home where they have a winning record compared to a losing record on the road, just 4-7 on the road now this season. And even throughout this mediocre spell where now the Saints are, 13-14 in their last 27 after the 3-0 start to the season, they've still found ways for the offense to improve. The starting pitching's been good. It feels like the bullpen, though, is a hanging cloud over the Saints' potential.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that game against the Conejo Oaks where the Saints are up 18-4, and with a matter of 2 innings, the lead was cut 18-12.
3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Elliott, hard swing, right center field. Chewy Thomas underneath it, coming in on it to make the final out. Lost it for a sec, but the Riptide through the first scoreless inning of this ballgame in terms of the Saints' bats. We're headed to the 4th here in Pasadena. Saints lead by 5. Showcase earlier this week.
Currently riding a 6-game hit streak as that one sent up the middle. Gordon will fling that one on to second. Sheehan O'Connor on to first. Double play, and Spencer C.
Both are the highest marks of the team.
Burge sends that one into center field. Kemmerer looking back on it, and it's gone! Oppo Taco, Alex Burge, have yourself a last 48 hours. Saints grab the lead early. It's 2-0.
And Burge, Jacob Sharp took the home run lead for the Saints last night, and Alex Burge was like, no, I want that.
Around 8 strikeouts in his last 4 games, chops that one towards the second baseman. What a play by Sheehan O'Connor. Flings that one on to first. Took it high. Livingston, adios. That ball is long gone, and that's a 7-4 lead for the Saints.
I mean, Burge and Livingston, they just have to hit home runs in the same game. They just have to. It's like something's wrong if they don't. They've done it already once this season against the Riptide. Here for the 2nd time, having a 2-run shot to right field. Wow, was he doing that a couple years ago?
He was, yep.
Walk, so an 0-for-2 night for him. That one is sky high into left field. Jacob Sharp running it down. What a catch.
And we talked time and time again, just for what could be an inning.
1-2, that one smoked to Gordon. Throws it on to first, my Lord. 1-2, that one is smoked into center field. Kemmerer looking back on it, and that one is gone. Jacob Sharp, back-to-back games with a home run. It's 11-5.
Oh, this is absolute drama here by the Saints offensive hitters. I mean, Burge ties the Saints lead at 3 after Sharp put up his fastball and he throws it hard.
Indeed he does. Reese goes down on...
It doesn't matter what he's throwing. It's the heater, if it's the off-speed. Oh, back-to-back Ks. That's just what he does.
And
8-9-1 due up for the Riptide here in the top of the 4th. Aiden Pollock still out there for the Saints. 3 innings so far, 4 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Those walks have been an issue for him, but are more or less consistent with his average so far this season.
And you wonder maybe the Saints get him to go 5 innings again, like how he went in his last start against, what was it, the Foresters?
Yeah, it was the Foresters indeed. Pitched a really nice one in that game to give the Saints their first win against Santa Barbara this season.
And what a game that was.
Matt Spear here. Back-to-back 3 strikeout games versus the Saints. Grounded out to that 3-6-3 double play ball with the bases loaded in the 2nd inning. No outs. And then after that, Pollock able to turn another ground ball to get out of the jam. There's a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike now to Spear. Spear was at San Jose State, now going to the University of Michigan from San Clemente, California. There's a big swing and a miss on the outer half for strike 2. So Saints up 5 after 2 home runs have already been hit in this ballgame. Pollock, the payoff pitch, chopped right side, foul. Livingston getting the start at first base tonight. Interesting, it feels like that might be the move long term, as just a week left in the season, but in terms of the playoffs, having Livingston at first and Adrian Lopez at third.
Yeah, and you just want as many bats in the lineup as possible. Joey Donnelly is that natural outfielder in right field, and Livingston has played first during his time at Wichita State, as you've brought up, and this would be his chance, the Saints as a team to bring out that playoff lineup.
So the 5th walk issued already in just 3 innings of work for Aiden Pollock. Matt Spear, the leadoff man, aboard. To make that every inning so far in this one, Pollock has allowed the leadoff batter to reach base safely. 3 walks and a hit, to be precise, in terms of facing those leadoff hitters. Matthew Thomas, also known as Chewy Thomas, batting in the 9-hole tonight.
And if you look at Pollock's pitches, 36 strikes to 35 balls.
That 37 strikes to 35 balls with the first pitch of Thomas's at-bat in their first strike.
Oh, no, sorry, I was ahead.
Oh, you were ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah, after that strike. Now we were 36 and 36.
All even. 36 apiece.
So you got to think this might be his last inning.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Saints handle it. They do have the lead, which has, played to their game planning before. Maybe keep Pollock in there for another inning, but doesn't feel like he's got his best stuff tonight. 2-1.
A lot of that could just be due to the fact that he hadn't pitched in a while before this outing.
Did pitch against the Oaks in the game a couple nights ago. That hasn't quite finished yet. We're going to see if that game ends up getting played tomorrow as Thomas chops one way foul, right side near the Riptide bullpen. Watch your heads over there.
And Spear's going to have to run back over to first. Interesting to see him steal. I mean, he has 1 stolen base on the year, but that came in the game on Sunday night.
Thomas 0 for his last 19 on a 6-game strikeout streak. He's only played 3 games in July. This is his first of the series against the Saints. 2-2. Strike 3 looking. Make that 0 for his last 27 consecutive games with a strikeout. Tough sledding for Matthew Thomas.
Yeah, nice response, though, from Aiden Pollock. Get that out. It's always important to get that first out of the inning.
It's a big strikeout for Aiden Pollock after the leadoff walk, and it's back to the top of the lineup for Patrick Hackworth. Hackworth has reached base in 12 consecutive games after the single in the first and the walk in the third. Currently 1 for 1 with that walk. Runner on first, 1 out. First pitch swinging, lifted left side. Lopez trailing into foul territory. He's going to have to deal with the fence. Did he make the catch? No, he didn't. Just dropped it out of the reach of the third baseman. It looked like he had a solid play on it, but definitely tough up against that wall.
Yeah, not as... He didn't make that catch similar to how we saw with Freddie Freeman last night.
Yeah, for those watching the Dodgers-Giants game last night, it must have been, what, 3rd inning or so, early in the game. Freddie Freeman with just a beautiful bucket catch.
And just acts like it's...
He didn't even celebrate. Acted like it was no big deal. Right over at first base. It's impressive stuff.
One of the more nonchalant catches I've seen.
So no balls, 1 strike. Hackworth lays off strike 2. And that left side of the plate has consistently been open in terms of the strike zone in this ballgame. Feels like pitchers have gotten the benefit of the doubt there in this one. Pollock asking for back-to-back strikeouts. Does the birthday boy get his wish? Fires the 0-2. Outside, ball 1. Wonder what kind of cake Aiden Pollock's getting for his birthday. Do you think Cam Conley and Aiden Pollock are
I don't know,
sharing
do they
one?
go... Wonder if they go splitsies on the cake.
Who knows?
We asked Ryan Scott because his birthday was a few days ago, and he's the chocolate cake type of guy.
There's the swing and a miss. So it is back-to-back strikeouts for Aiden Pollock. Second time tonight, he's retired 2 consecutive batters on strikes. And after the leadoff walk, now 2 outs for Luke Johnson. Hackworth now has struck out in 6 of his last 7 as Johnson comes to the dish. 1 for 2 in this ball game. Singled and came round to score last time he was up in the 3rd. Saints on top by 5 after the 2 home runs earlier in this game. The grand slam from Joey Donnelly and the 2-run blast by Jacob Sharp. Burge will check back at first. Really nice throw to Josh Livingston, but runner is back in time. It's Matt Spear over there at first base. He's the catcher tonight. Spear has DH'd in this series, and it feels like the Riptide, they're just so deep at the catcher position.
Yeah, they have a slew of them. We also see the Forsters have a slew of catchers as well.
Oaks as well.
The Oaks, yeah.
Might just be in comparison, as there's a strike from Pollock to Johnson. Johnson at Cornell has got 3 multi-hit games in his last 12. Batting average reached 200 on June 28th versus the Saints, and it's up about 40 points since then. It's been a nice July for him. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, hard swing, left field, trailing down towards the foul pole. Does it stay fair? It doesn't. Just hooking a little too much, but Jacob Sharp, he was running that down.
Yeah, just a bit early on the swing, but it also creeped against the wall, so I don't know if it would have been a home run, but still just really, really solid piece of hitting from Luke Johnson, who does have 2 home runs on the season.
Just 16 RBIs, 5 walks, 21 strikeouts so far this season. Ball outside. Pollock thought he had the off-speed stuff in there. Pollock trying to make it 3 consecutive strikeouts. Maybe we'd see him in the 5th if that's the case. He's done a nice job after the leadoff walk. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. Pollock. Oh, just low.
Oh, he was dancing off the mound. Thought he had strike 3, but just what a great eye from Luke Johnson, who only has 5 walks in what is now his 24th game of the season. But just a really nice take.
Payoff pitch. Pollock flings off speed. Oh, too much bite. Low and outside. And walks. 2 of them in this inning. 2 strikeouts as well. But runner in scoring position for J.C. Allen with 2 outs.
You're talking about 1 swing of the bat, really making this game an interesting one for sure. Allen, no home runs on the season, just 3 extra base hits, 9 RBIs. But we saw Colin Taylor hit his first home run off Braden Sanford that ended up giving the Barons the 8-6 victory. Talking about a 3-run homer, really tightening up the Saints.
First pitch in there for strike 1. Allen already has an RBI in this game, an RBI single back in the 3rd, so make it 10 RBIs on the season. Hits in 6 of his last 8, 10 hits in that span with 3 multi-hit games. Lays off outside for ball 1.
Thought about it for a second there and decided to hold up.
Just feels like Aiden Pollock in terms of how he can build long-term. He's got the stuff to be dominant. It's just the consistency for him at-bat to at-bat. 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Went low fastball there.
Yeah, and to your point, in tonight's game, 5 strikeouts, 6 walks.
At the end of the day, not everyone can be Carter Herrera, who just did such a good job the other night in OC in terms of throwing first pitch strikes. It feels like every single count he was in was no balls, 2 strikes, and was able to get strikeouts at 10 in that one. 1-2, chopped right side over to Tyler Gordon. He'll throw to first. Saints get out of it. Strand 2 base runners. Pollock picks up 2 more strikeouts. He's up to 5 on the evening. Saints still lead by 5.
Oh! Get out. One Nick. Go safe, dude. Hurt. Olay. Oh,
Fourth inning here, bottom of the fourth. Chris Canada coming into the game for Nathan Hoy. Hoy going just 1 2/3, allowing 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Coming in for Luis Becerra. It didn't go more than 2 innings at any point this season. And Chris Canada will make his 3rd appearance of the year, a 3.37 ERA and 2 2/3 innings pitched. 5 strikeouts coming from San Diego State University, 6'7", 210, and of course, a lefty.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the MO against these Saints? Just always have the lefties on board. I mean, we know the Barons' left-handed pitching staff
by heart. I mean,
yeah,
Miles Hughes, Shamir Marshall. I mean, this is not even notes up at this point.
No, I mean, we already know who's coming in before they arrive.
2 balls, no strikes to Alex Burge. It's also because we've seen the Barons 8 times this year. Face them one more time the rest of the way. 9th game of the season posted for later this week in Pasadena. Canada, slow delivery. 2 balls, no strikes. Burge lays off strike 1.
You know, just so many lefties in this lineup for the Saints.
And it's funny because in terms of pitching,
they have all righties.
Saints don't really have any lefties on the bump in terms of guys out of the bullpen. It's really only Andrew Wright.
And I guess, can we call him a righty too?
Yeah, and he also pitches right hand as well. Spencer Seed, the only true lefty.
I mean, we rarely see the ambidextrous pitchers. We just saw one get drafted.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Canada cautious on the bump. Fastball, chop right side. Kind of a weird play for Hackworth, but makes it look easy in the end. So there's the first out of the inning. Burge with the ground out to the right side of the infield.
Yeah, that one took a late high bounce. A nice job by Patrick Hackworth. Kind of leaped a little bit for it.
So Joey Craig has been stellar tonight. His second 2-hit game of the season so far for the right fielder. Last 2 times he's been up, he has singled, has scored in both of those trips around the bases. Lays off the first pitch low for ball 1. And Craig, you know, came home via the grand slam in the first inning. Was part of the RBI from Josh Livingston back in the second.
He advanced on that error that kind of just ate up Gump mean, it was a hard hit ball right to Gump, but you're just unable to field it cleanly. And the Saints, who have really struggled at times making the opposition pay for their mistakes, have really capitalized as of late.
It was 4 errors for the Riptide last time these two teams met on Sunday. Hard swing, left side of the infield. Bates coming in on it. Oh, beautiful play by Camden Bates. 2 groundouts here in the 4th for Canada, and it's Joey Donnelly up to the dish now.
Yeah, and after that error for Bates, he was really responded well with a couple of nice defensive plays. Just quick from glove to hand, and has a cannon to get guys out.
So Donnelly, who's been on a tear in terms of the RBIs, did pop out on the first pitch he saw back in the 2nd inning. Just a pitch after the grand slam he hit to right center. Up to 19 RBIs on the season. It's above Easton Elliott for 2nd place now on this Saints squad. And it really feels like the way that he's been swinging the bat, kind of surprising he's in the 5 spot tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we see, teams across whatever league it may be try to branch out their lineup. So for Joey Donnelly, I mean, probably the reason why is Coach Aaron Milam wants guys on base for Donnelly, and he obviously responded in the bottom of the 1st inning with that no-doubt grand slam. I don't think it's uncommon to see a power hitter in that 4-5.
Yeah. No balls, 2 strikes from Canada. Ball outside, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. Craig's been really good tonight, too. He's struggled so far this year, but a 2-for-3 game in this one. Livingston on deck, Adrian Lopez in the hole. It really feels like this lineup is truly deep. The Saints hitters, doesn't matter who you ask, really feels like guys have mentioned about how good it is when everyone in the lineup is swinging the bat well. It makes things really easy.
Nice takes from Joey Donnelly, really working this count. And for a pitcher in Chris Canada, who's only making his 3rd appearance of the season, looks really, really sharp on the mound.
Yeah, slow delivery, but good timing. He's kept these hitters off balance so far with 2 groundouts. Donnelly, 2-2. 2 outs, nobody on. 8-3 lead for the Saints. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Chris Canada, oh my, what a first inning of action for him. To the 5th we go here in Pasadena. 8-3 the score. Saints lead by 5.
Coming in this game, he has a 400 on-base percentage. He's going to get up with the 2 hits he has. He lines one.
That one's belted to right field, and that one is gone! How about Josh Livingston getting things started here for the Saints? He ropes a home run right over the right field. Jake Brown looking up. That one is gone! An opposite field home run! Alex Burge.
First pickles, then Oppo tacos. How about that for Alex Burge? Hit the home run to right. He was like, nah. I'm going to hit one to left now. How about a 3-run blast for the backstop?
Booms that one to right field. Matthew Thomas will just have to look back. That one is gone. Welcome to the game, Colton Dahl. Jacob Shart with a 3-run home run, the 2nd 3-run home run of the game, and the lead continues to balloon. It's 9-1.
I mean, off the bat.
8-3 ball game here in Pasadena. 5th inning. Chase Presley coming in for Aiden Pollock. Presley last pitched in the 18-12 game against the Conejo Oaks. As Rocco Gump, first pitch did not go, ball 1.
Presley gave up 2 runs charged to Ahakovi. He came in a tough spot with the bases juiced and nobody out.
My assumption is we will not see him tomorrow in the completion of that ball game. Saints and Oaks will play potentially the last
Still trying to figure
inning
that
or so.
out.
Don't quite have the details yet, but you'd assume that they would play tomorrow before the Oaks and Saints game that was originally scheduled for tomorrow. That's over in Cal Lutheran. The start for the second game is 4:30. Don't quite know if the first game will happen or what time that would be at, but tune into the Saints Twitter account, social media. I think we'll all be in Thousand Oaks tomorrow. David, are you going to be in Thousand Oaks tomorrow? Yes. Oh, he is. That's a wonderful producer, David Matamoros. So it'll be the trio of us, Evan Davis, Adam Beck, David Matamoros, up in Cal Lutheran for a good bit of baseball against that really solid Conejo Oaks team that's been so good all season long and has been really good against the Saints squad.
Yeah, kind of just saw an unexpected poor performance from them pitching-wise. A team that has atop the CCL in both offensive and pitching categories.
So Presley allows just his 8th walk of the season. He's got much more of the strikeout stuff, and it's that 2-1 record on the year. Got a 7 ERA. It's been tough for him this summer, but got to chat with him the other night, and it was interesting to just pick his brain in terms of his plan for baseball the next couple of years. Has 2 years of eligibility left in the transfer portal. Faces Michael Diaz. Diaz in center field tonight. 0 for 1 with a walk. A run scored back in the second. Presley said he's looking at a slew of schools over the entire U.S. Some in the Northeast, some in the Midwest.
Doesn't have a preference, just wants to play.
Hit sharply left field. Base knock for Michael Diaz, who make that hits in 9 of his last 10.
Yeah, it was just late on that swing, but because of the shift that Sheehan O'Connor was playing, found that hole in between the third baseman and shortstop.
So it'll bring up Jack Hernandez, or Jack Hammond. Hammond has reached base both of his plate appearances so far, a walk and an RBI single. From Skiatook, Oklahoma. Senior at Cal State Long Beach will be teammates with Easton Elliott next season. First pitch outside for ball 1. It's not been the best start to Presley's evening here in the 5th.
Yeah, only 2 pitches for strikes to start. 5 balls.
It's Diaz at first. Gump at second. Did he go? He didn't. So 2 balls, no strikes to Hammond. Batting in the 6th spot tonight. Only 2 extra base hits in his last 12 games after 2 extra base hits in his first 4 games of the CCL summer.
Has a chance here to really get the Riptide back in it.
Chopper left side, foul, so 2 balls, 1 strike.
And Presley coming into tonight with the 23 strikeouts and 15 innings of work. Just the 7.2 ERA that's really killed him.
Making his 12th appearance of the year. Did play against the Oaks, so only 10 games in point streak. 2 balls, 1 strike. 8-3 the score. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Burge on to second. Tyler Gordon was there, but Rocco Gump back in time.
Yeah, nice from Presley to get the swinging strike on the high stuff and get back into the count. Down 2-0, now back to 2-2.
Hammond at 23 years old, a little bit on the older side in terms of guys in the CCL, but making the most of his summer. Batting .224, .338 on base percentage in this one. Flies over the infield. Burge underneath it. There's the first out of the inning.
Well, infield fly, so batter out regardless. But how about Jace Presley trying to get in on the action.
Yeah,
He was ready for that pop-up.
He wanted it. So here comes Camden Bates batting in the 7 spot, the shortstop tonight. He's made a nice couple plays over at that spot. Has an error as well, but has rebounded well. Had the home run last game to left field. Probably would have been a Mickey Mouse home run, let's be real. In this ballpark, that's a routine fly out for Jacob Sharton left.
Well, just because it's 374 to the left field wall, that's why, like, if you hit one to left field, you hit one.
Yeah, and we've seen some guys hit ones to left field. Alex Burge has hit one that way.
2.
Yeah, a pair. More towards left center, though.
Yeah.
No one's really gotten right down the line and left. I'd say probably the most into left field we've seen is Casey Cummings.
Yeah, that was.
For the Walnut Creek Crawdads, a ball that went about 400 feet to straightaway left. But no one's really towed the line down there.
That one from Casey Cummings. I don't think I've seen a ball hit farther here in Pasadena.
Jacob Sharp might have something to say about that by the end of the season. 2-0. Presley flings another high pop out. This one in foul territory, and it's going to be another infield fly rule. So back-to-back pop outs, courtesy of Presley pitches, and 2 away here after the first 2 aboard safely.
Yeah, nice response from Jace Presley to surrender the first 2 batters in this inning, but then respond with a quick 2 outs and 2 very effective outs, infield fly, so the runners can't even advance. I mean, obviously in the infield, so you're not going to do much, but you have a chance to maybe get a runner home with a pair of flyouts, but instead he gets them to pop them up.
So Matt Spear, the 8 hitter in the lineup, launches a first pitch ball low. Didn't go. And after a lot of offense early in this game has settled down as both teams have made some pitching changes. Scooted along as well, too. We were only, an hour and a half through 3 innings, and we're in the 5th now.
You know, sometimes the game likes to treat us to quick 5 innings and then really make us work for the final 4. Maybe a little reverse psychology here tonight.
2 balls, no strikes to Spear. And to be honest, after the 2.5-hour game that went 10 innings in Irvine, we're probably in for a return back to the average. Always fun seeing good pitchers duel, though. 2-0, Presley inside. Oh, strike 1 there. Just nibbled in the inner half. Thought as Spear turned away, it was going to be called the ball.
Spear is working pretty close to the plate. I mean, there is no room really between his body and home.
Yeah, that's a good spot. 2-1, low and in, ball 3. It's 2 outs, 3-1 count for Presley. Presley, a guy who had to work back from injury over the last 1.5 years or so. Sat out of college baseball last year to just, get back into the swing of things. Chopped right side. Foul.
Oh. Looks like maybe a pinch hitter coming up. Patrick Hackworth not in the on-deck circle, it appears. Looks like it's...
3-2 just inside, ball 4. So base is now loaded for Matthew Thomas in the 9-hole. Looks like Hackworth is still on deck.
I mixed up Thomas and Hackworth. I forgot we were at the 8-batter, not the 9.
There you go.
Number 5, Matthew Thomas.
Yeah, I was confused for a second.
So was I.
I was like, what do you mean there's a new hitter? I was like, 5, that's Matthew Thomas.
Yeah. I, for whatever reason, thought Matt Spear was the 9-hitter.
Well, fortunately for the Saints, he's not, as it allowed Presley to attack 9-hitter in the lineup in Matthew Thomas. Thomas, 0 for 2 tonight, strikeout as well. Grounded out to end the 2nd inning, stranded a runner at third base.
Yeah, just batting 106 on the season.
0 for his last 20. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Presley went low and away that time and worked to his success.
Yeah, you talk about the strikeout for Thomas and just the streak he's been on now. 25 strikeouts through 47 at bats.
Only 8 walks, so make that 25 strikeouts and about 55 at bats, striking out, or 55 plate appearances, striking out at just under 45% or so of his plate appearances.
Quick math.
Yeah, it's very rough estimates, but you get the picture. 2-1 to Thomas. Presley has given up a hit and 2 walks to load the bases. Chopped left side over to Sheehan O'Connor. Nice play by the shortstop. Over to Tyler Gordon at second for the force. Presley leaves the bases loaded. He's pumped. Gives Alex Burge a little dap up. 8-3. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th here in Pasadena.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it'll score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound. The Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Carrillo did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the 9th for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
Six, 7, 8 due up for the Saints. Josh Livingston, Adrian Lopez, and Sheehan O'Connor will face Chris Canada, who pitched really well in that 4th inning, coming in for Nathan Hoy. Canada, 1 strikeout, didn't allow a single runner on bases. Nice little 1-2-3 inning in his first appearance against the Saints this season.
Yeah, fooled Donnelly on the off-speed front door breaking ball pitch. And for a guy making only his 3rd appearance this season, has just really looked poised and solid on the mound.
Livingston 2 for 2 tonight with 2 singles, picked up an RBI, was caught stealing, which ended the 1st inning, trying to tag up from 2nd to 3rd base. Lays off ball 2. I feel like if Livingston's batting in the 6th hole, it's going to be a good night for the Saints just in terms of the depth of the Saints offense. Livingston batting .329 with a .434 on base percentage coming into this ballgame. But against the Riptide, he's been even better. A .556 batting average, .636 on base, and a .111 slug in 5 appearances against the Riptide this season.
Yeah, that'll do. And everyone will remember that game against the Riptide at Great Park when I think it was the first game of the season or the second game that we played them. And the fan went up to Livingston and said, "I'll give you a bag of Skittles if you get a hit." He hit a home run, got the Skittles, and hit a double in his next at-bat.
Lays off inside, ball 4. So how about that for Josh Livingston? 4-pitch walk. Now walks in 3 consecutive games. Was hit by a pitch against the Oaks in the 18-12 game, so I guess that's 4 straight games with a free pass.
And here's a batter in Lopez, 12-game on-base streak for him. And he was jokingly saying how ever since he got those new batting gloves for Livingston, he's just been really dynamite at the dish. And if he's not putting balls in play, he's still finding a way to get that free pass to first.
He had the walk in his first plate appearance tonight. Got walks now in 8 of his last 11. In his last 10 games, .413 on-base percentage in that span. .384 on-base percentage on the season coming to this one, as Livingston will advance 90 feet on the pass ball.
And after back-to-back 4 spots in the first and second inning, the Saints offense has been quieted these last 2, but prime opportunity here with a runner in scoring position, nobody out.
Saints and Riptide will meet again later in the week down in Irvine on Saturday night, a 7 o'clock start. It'll be the last of 8 games between these two teams this season. Saints are 4-2 coming tonight. Nice piece of hitting by Lopez into center field, but robbed of a hit. Oh, what a play by the center fielder out there, Michael Diaz.
Yeah, Diaz just, I mean, if his first step is back, and even by like just a smidge, that ball drops in for a single, and you're talking about runners on first and third, nobody out. So nice play from Diaz, and nearly got Livingston out.
So Sheehan O'Connor, 2 strikeouts already, 1 looking, 1 swinging in this ball game so far. O'Connor came in tonight batting .250 on the season, a .400 on-base percentage, only his 7th appearance of the year, joined the squad on the later half of the summer, but now has 9 strikeouts in 22 plate appearances. This is his 23rd of the CCL season.
Yeah, has just really struggled with the strikeouts, as you had mentioned, but, you know, when he does connect on a pitch, you know, it does go pretty far.
The strikeouts were an issue for him at New Mexico State last season, where he batted .244, .356 slugging, .370 on base percentage, but 42 strikeouts and just 90 at-bats, roughly 105 plate appearances.
Yeah, and you're talking about those 90 at-bats with the 42 strikeouts. We're working with almost a 50% strikeout rate.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in Pasadena. We're in the 5th inning, 8-3. Saints lead by 5. Canada fires low as Livingston will stay over at second base. O'Connor already has multiple strikeout games this season. Had 2 strikeouts against the Slow Blues in his debut. 3 strikeouts against the Academy Barons, as a strike away from potentially a second 3 strikeout game in just 5 appearances. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Inside, ball 2.
And you feel like with Canada and just how, you know, early this game still is, you wonder, does he go back out for the 6th? The command has been a little bit of an issue, more balls than strikes so far through his inning and a third of work, but he's got to find a way to provide these Riptide bulk innings. There's activity in their bullpen, but just, you know, they got that game tomorrow against the Academy Barons. They're going to need arms.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Saints also have at least 9 innings of baseball tomorrow, potentially more, trying to make up the game from last time as O'Connor swings through another strike. Drop 3rd strike, he's out at third base. So make that a 3-strikeout game for Sheehan O'Connor, his 3rd already of the season.
Yeah, and unfortunate for Sheehan O'Connor, and I'm sure Livingston doesn't like that just for the simple fact that he was one of the many that said they hate the drop 3rd strike rule.
Yeah, you know, you got to run over there. As Tyler Gordon up to the dish now. Livingston on second base. Saints lead by 5. 2 outs in this 5th inning.
It's kind of funny just to hear how passionate these Saints players are about not wanting to run to first base after the drop 3rd strike, which, you know, I agree.
I don't blame them.
I don't blame them. Like, you already feel bad that you struck out. Now I got to run to first.
Canada looks on, checks back at Livingston at second. Still looking at Livingston, heaves the 0-1. Low, kind of gets away from the catcher. And what a throw. Beams Livingston out at third base. And there is some unhappy Saints in the dugout. Home plate umpires jogging over to the dugout to tell them to be quiet.
Oh.
Some yapping back and forth. A couple jaws here and there, but the inning is over. Coach Aaron Milam unhappy. Saints dugout even worse. 8-3 the score. We head to the 6th. Here, top of the 6th inning. Chase Presley still on the bump for the Saints. He'll face the top of the lineup for the Riptide. Patrick Hackworth, Luke Johnson, and J.C. Allen due up in this 6th inning. The 1-2-3 hitters in the Riptide order. Hackworth, so far in this one, 1 for 2, a strikeout, a single as well, and a walk. Did score a run back in the 3rd inning, launches the first pitch for a strike against Chase Presley.
And for Chris Canada, the command might not be there, but he's still doing his job, has really done a solid work on the mound. No hits, no earned runs, just 1 walk to those 2 strikeouts.
This is actually his longest appearance of the year. His longest appearance coming into tonight was 1 2/3 innings. So far, he's pitched 2 innings. Interesting to see if he comes back out for a 3rd. No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch outside from Chase Presley, just off the edge.
I mean, you feel like he would, just given what's available.
Saints lead by 5 after putting up 4 runs in each of the 1st and 2nd innings, courtesy of 2 big home runs. A grand slam from Joey Donnelly and a 2-run shot. Swing and a miss by Patrick Hackworth. Chase Presley gets that first strikeout of the evening for him. Second home run coming courtesy of Jacob Sharp, the 2-run blast. So, Luke Johnson, the DH tonight. Seen him at second base as well so far this season. From Cornell University. 241 batting average there as a freshman in 28 appearances. Only 3 extra base hits, 21 hits total. This summer, the extra base hits a couple more, 7 in total, 2 homers, 5 doubles.
Big swing for strike 1. And, Jace Presley, kind of like Chris Canada too, the command isn't there, but both of these guys doing a really solid job on the mound.
First pitch strike to Johnson on the swing and miss. He's really worked the lower half, especially away well. Ball gets off of Presley's glove, and O'Connor was trying to barehand it, but it scurried away from him. So Johnson reaches on an infield single, his 2nd hit of the night.
Just a tough play. Presley wanting to get that ground out. She and O'Connor was kind of struggling to, I'm not struggling, it was just a hard read right off. Nothing you can really do about that one, just unfortunate.
So runner on first, Johnson after the infield single. Presley winds and fires, strike one. Allen's been lethal against the Saints so far this season, especially in this series. Picked up 3 RBIs against Arroyo Seco 3 nights ago. Has RBIs in 2 of his last 3, and even tonight make that 3 of his last 4, given that had that RBI single back in the 3rd.
Yeah, so they'll rule that one as a single as well for Johnson.
It makes sense.
Makes sense. And for J.C. Allen, just an opportunity for him to add to the RBI total. Had 4 in his last 2 games prior to the game on Sunday night.
Ball outside for ball 2.
You can make an argument that Allen was really the only shining light in that 12-5 loss, going 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs.
Yeah. It's a nice job by him in that one. Only 3 extra base hits on the year. 10 hits in total in his now 18th appearance. Hard swing right back up the middle. O'Connor onto Gordon, trying to turn the double play. And they do. What a play by the Saints defense. O'Connor onto Gordon, onto Livingston. 6-4-3. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th in Pasadena.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it'll score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the 1st inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound, and the Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the 3rd base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Rio did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the 1st inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the 9th for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for this Saints. (8-3) the score here, bottom of the 6th. Gavin Eddy, the redshirt freshman at Cal Berkeley, coming in for his 3rd appearance of the year. 2 games already under his belt, 3 innings pitched, no earned runs, 5 strikeouts, no walks. And he'll face the 9-1-2 hitters in the lineup, Tyler Gordon, Jacob Sharp, and Easton Elliott, as we welcome Trajan Lee into the broadcast booth. Trajan, how you doing?
Doing good. Thank you for having me, guys.
So we saw, we had that running joke how you only play the Academy Barons. 4 of your 5 starts have been against this club. How is it that you're just able to attack them? You had such an incredible start with those 7 strikeouts in your last performance.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always tough going against the same team every time, but I look at it as an opportunity as well. Going against great hitters all throughout this league, and especially on their team. So last time it was really just about getting ahead, staying in the zone. And I did that with no walks, and I was very happy about that, so it was an awesome time.
So you've got the start tomorrow against the Conejo Oaks. How are you feeling going into that one? And in terms of the summer in totality, how do you feel like your game's kind of evolved?
Yeah, I'm feeling great going into it. Last time I faced them was here, and kind of had a shaky outing, honestly. It was okay for 3 innings, and then in the 4th inning, let up a couple runs, so wasn't too pleased about that. So excited to kind of get a second chance at them. And overall in the summer, it's been awesome. I mean, I've learned a lot here from hitters and other pitchers as well. I really feel like my sliders come along and my fastball as well with command and location of it all. So been a great summer so far.
You talk about everything coming together. Your first 2 appearances in 4 innings, only 1 strikeout, and then now 4 of your last 5 with 6 or more. Is that just like kind of how you've been incorporating the slider and the changeup?
Yeah, absolutely. The slider's been awesome here. I honestly lost feel for it during the season, but here in the summer it's been absolutely amazing. Really helped me with my strikeout ratio, and it's been great to get it back and get feel for it. So.
And you mentioned kind of learning from, obviously, the talented hitters, but also talented pitchers. And it feels like the Saints pitching, especially starting pitching over the past maybe week, 2 weeks, has been really solid, obviously, with you, Carter Herrera, who had a fantastic outing just last game, and Danny Velos. What's it been like learning from them as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you get to talk with another pitcher and kind of see how they operate, it's always amazing. Carter has an amazing changeup, so Danny and I have really been talking to him a lot. Trying to feel how he gets a feel for his pitches and stuff. And Danny does a great job just commanding the strike zone and overall just being great throughout his games and being composed. So it's been great to learn from him as well. But overall, we're always rooting for each other, and it's always great to get out there and compete.
So obviously a tough lineup tomorrow in the Conejo Oaks. We see you're just atop the leaderboard, both offensively and on the mound. When you go into a start like that, just is it more built-up energy knowing, like, hey, I want to prove myself even more. I want to shut these guys up?
Honestly, not really. I know it might sound boring and not what you want to hear at all, but every game I don't really feel like I'm facing another team. I'm kind of out there on the mound just competing with myself. The catcher gives me a spot, and I want to hit it to my best of my abilities, and the hitter in the box is just there to hit the ball, and if he does, good for him, and if he doesn't, great for me, right? So really don't care too much who I'm facing. Always out there just trying to compete with myself and get better each time.
Defensively for this squad, as Jacob Shark comes in the batter's box, 1 ball, 1 strike to him, this is a squad that 18 games in a row with an error. Last 2 games, no error, has 1 tonight, but it really feels like the defense has clicked, found something in the past couple of weeks in terms of especially the middle infield with Tyler in there and Sheehan O'Connor. What's it like that, having a solid middle infield for you as a pitcher in terms of feeling a little bit more confident on the bump?
Yeah, absolutely. It helps a ton. I mean, when your defense is playing great behind you, you feel totally confident on the mound to throw any pitch, and you don't really feel like you have to do it all yourself. We kind of had a running joke during that 18-game stretch, so we'd always be like, today's the day, no errors today. And so I'm glad it finally happened, and looks like we're rolling now. So we're clicking at the right time, and that's always good going into playoffs. So really happy about it.
Well, speaking of running jokes, your battery man, Nick Lazaro, was telling me that you have a running joke at Trinity where you were also facing the same team consistently. Do you mind explaining that?
Honestly, I'm not too sure what he's talking about. We face different teams every week, so maybe he's talking about in the fall when we scrimmaged a lot, and we would face the same team every week. Then obviously it's just our own, but I can't really speak on that too much, unfortunately.
He didn't give me enough information. He just said it was a running joke how you've played the same team every outing.
With the summer ball here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The guys, I thought you meant school ball.
My bad.
No, yeah. Obviously, everyone realizes that week after week I was always lined up to go against the Barons, and I think that shows how much we just played them in general, but also it just kind of worked out that way. So, yeah, throughout the team, everyone knew, like, if we were playing the Barons, most likely Trajan was going to be on the mound, which is funny, but overall, everyone was great about it, and they always support me going out there, so that was good.
Looks like Matt Spear a little bit slow to get up after, don't know if he was hit by a ball or took an awkward play there. He's just trying to recollect himself on the bump. But obviously a week left of the regular season. It's getting towards crunch time. Are you as a team looking at the standings, focused on that, or just trying to play it game by game?
Yeah, I think once you get down to this point, like, it's stupid to say that you aren't aware of the standings. We all know what's at stake here. We're trying to get in the playoffs and honestly host a game here at Jackie Robinson Field. But at the same time, whenever you step on that field, you got to block that out and just play to the best of your abilities, and whatever happens, happens. It's all meant to be. So that's what we do, and so far it's going great in this game, and we'll see if we can close it out.
Gotta ask if you know, what has Joey Donnelly and Jacob Sharp been eating these last couple of weeks, because they are just tattooing the baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Seems like they're eating their Wheaties in the morning, that's for sure. But they're doing great. Joey has really hit a stride here at Summer Ball, and I have a running joke with him right now that every hit he gets here, it's taking away a hit at school. So, but he seems to be running with it. He's doing great. And then Sharp's been amazing all summer, so no surprise there to see him really add some pop to his game here late in the season.
We heard that the guys kind of joke around everyone with the 3 home runs, and now Jacob Sharp unleashed one to right field, so now he leads the team with 4. Do you guys joke a lot about just your stats, like kind of like in a joking, funny, like in a funny way? But
yeah, for sure. It's always fun to poke fun at each other, if it's whether it be for stats or just baseball in general or life. But people kind of know what you're doing out on the field, as much as you want to stay away from that and just be focused on your game and not necessarily the results of it. But it can get around town, and people can start making fun of little things here and there with the stats. So,
who out of the pitchers, because out of the hitters we've talked about, it feels like Easton keeps a good record of his stats. But in terms of the pitchers, who are the guys that are really in tune with their stats, or people that are just like, yeah, I don't even want to know what I'm doing right now?
Well, for me personally, I hate looking at my stats. I kind of...
That's a drive to right. Oh, it's going to just come back into the ballpark. Nice catch by Matthew Thomas out there, but
yeah,
as you were saying.
Yeah, as I was saying, I hate looking at my stats. I personally try to stay away from the stat page, and just because I find myself over-obsessing with them, and I feel like a lot of players can too. But as far as it goes for pitchers looking at their stats and obsessing over it, I'm not too sure. I know some guys definitely know their ERA down to the 100th of a point. So that's always fun to hear them talk about that, and I always cheer them on, and I'm happy for them whenever they know it, and it's good, obviously. So, but yeah, some guys definitely do have a little more obsession over the stats than others, and it's just how people operate.
Well, Trajan, thanks for stopping by. We're excited to see you tomorrow in Thousand Oaks. You'll get the start against the Conejo Oaks. It'll be a tough one, but a big one for the Saints in terms of the playoff push.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me.
Thanks for stopping. Showcase earlier this week.
Currently riding a 6-game hit streak as that one sent up the middle. Gordon will fling that one on to second. Sheehan O'Connor on to first. Double play, and Spencer C.
Both are the highest marks of the team.
Burge sends that one into center field. Kemmerer looking back on it, and it's gone. Oppo Taco, Alex Burge, have yourself a last 48 hours. Saints grab the lead early. It's 2-0.
And Burge, Jacob Sharp took the home run lead for the Saints last night, and Alex Burge was like, no, I want that.
Around 8 strikeouts in his last 4 games, chops that one towards the second baseman. What a play by Sheehan O'Connor. Flings that one on to first. Took it high. Livingston, adios. That ball is long gone, and that's a 7-4 lead for the Saints.
I mean, Burge and Livingston, they just have to hit home runs in the same inning. They just have to. It's like something's wrong if they don't. They've done it already once this season against the Riptide. Here for the second time, having a 2-run shot to right field. Wow, was he doing that a couple years ago?
He was, yep.
Walk, so an 0-for-2 night for him. That one is sky high into left field. Jacob Sharp running it down. What a catch.
And we talked time and time again, just for, could be an inning.
1-2, that one smoked to Gordon. Throws it on to first, my Lord. 1-2, that one is smoked into center field. Kemmerer looking back on it, and that one is gone. Jacob Sharp, back-to-back games with a home run. It's 11-5.
Oh, this is absolute drama. Seventh inning here in Pasadena. Thanks to Trajan Lee for stopping by. It'll be fun to see him on the bump tomorrow in Thousand Oaks. The Saints look to win one against that Oaks team that it feels like just has had their number this season.
Well, we still have to figure out the 18-12 fiasco.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Could be in for a lot of baseball tomorrow. Hope you guys will join us. The start for the game scheduled tomorrow is 4:30. Could be a game earlier. And should be a fun day of baseball tomorrow over there in Thousand Oaks. Such a nice ballpark, too. Cal Lutheran
I was
in terms
gonna
of
say,
facilities.
Yeah, and the view that you have looking into center field, you have all the hills and the CLU initials for Cal Lutheran off to the left. I mean, it's a really nice park.
So Presley back out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Spins one low for ball 2.
Interesting to see him out here for his 3rd inning of work, but I guess in the back of Coach Aaron Milam's mind is just, we need our guys for tomorrow. They know it's going to be a battle. They know it's going to be a slugfest.
And especially for a guy that hasn't gone more than 2 innings this year, an out here would make this the longest inning. Chopper up the middle. There's an out for Jace Presley, so officially the longest outing of his summer.
And you can really see the progression of Sheehan O'Connor over there at short. How many times do we see him taking ground balls with the assistant coaches before the games and, I guess pre-game switch right at the last second? Tyler Gordon moves from short to second. Both the middle infielders flip-flop. Maybe just to get Sheehan O'Connor reps over there. I mean, to keep it blunt, Cam Conley has kind of struggled at the dish as of late. And I think Coach Aaron Milam just wants to see what he has with Tyler Gordon at second. Maybe, those positions can be interchangeable as we head towards the postseason.
Yeah, maybe O'Connor, slightly stronger arm as well. We've seen Gordon a couple plays, maybe balls going to his right where he has to fling over to first base. Doesn't quite have the arm power to get there. Don't get me wrong. Fantastic glove, but definitely able to make all the throws at second. And to your point, yeah, O'Connor has really worked at that shortstop position in terms of ground balls before games. He hasn't been at second base. He's been at shortstop. 0-1 fouled back for strike 2 against Michael Diaz. Diaz, 4th in the CCL in doubles coming tonight, batting .261. 11 RBIs, 12 walks, 29 strikeouts. Add a walk and strikeout to his total, so make it 13 walks, 30 strikeouts on the season because he's got one of each in tonight's ballgame. Also a single, so 1 for 2 with a walk. Has a run scored as well. 0-2 lifted back, foul out of play.
For a pitcher in Jace Presley, 41 pitches, only 21 strikes. It doesn't feel like that, the way he's been able to get out of jams and situations.
Yeah, after 2 innings coming in, only allowing 2 hits, 2 walks, no strikeouts. But you're right, got out of that jam earlier in this one. 0-2 way inside, almost hitting Diaz, but not quite, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. Couple Riptide fans in attendance behind home plate. Diaz from Phoenix, Arizona. The GCU, a redshirt senior. Got hits in 9 of his last 10. He's also been a threat on the bases as well. Stolen bases in 2 of his last 4. A pair of back-to-back games with a stolen base, and then hasn't had one in the last 2. And there's a strike 3 swing, so Presley picks up his first strikeout of the evening. There's 2 away in the 7th.
Yeah, nice work from Jace Presley. Gets the ground ball to short and then the strikeout. I mean, if he could even go into the 8th inning, how huge would that be for this Saints squad?
Yeah, I don't know if he'll get the call to go into the 8th, but definitely a possibility with how he's moving through the 7th. Hammond is 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI single, a walk as well, so has reached in 2 of his 3 plate appearances. There's a first pitch strike for Presley, and it really feels like Presley has improved as his outing has continued.
Yeah, I mean, that first inning of work got the first 2 runners on. Nobody came around to score, however. But ever since those first 2 batters, he has just looked really, really solid at the dish. I mean, on the mound, I apologize.
Quickly behind 0-2. Hammond is averaging a strikeout a game, 16 Ks and 16 appearances into this one. Doesn't have a strikeout yet. Presley a strike away from making that change. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Lifted right center field. Deep, Joey Craig makes the grab. And there are the 3 outs. So 1, 2, 3. Presley puts the Riptide down in order. Bottom 7 coming up. It's time to get up and stretch here in Pasadena.
Coming in this game, he has a .400 on-base percentage. He's going to get up with the 2 hits he has. Let's see who lines one.
That one's belted to right field, and that one is gone. How about Josh Livingston getting things started here for the Saints? He ropes a home run right over the right field. Jake Brown looking up. That one is gone. An opposite field home run. Alex Burge.
First pickles, then Oppo tacos. How about that for Alex Burge? Hit the home run to right. He was like, nah. I'm going to hit one to left now. How about a 3-run blast for the backstop?
Booms that one to right field. Matthew Thomas will just have to look back. That one is gone. Welcome to the game, Colton Dahl. Jacob Shart with a 3-run home run, the second 3-run home run of the game, and the lead continues to balloon. It's 9-1.
I mean, off the bat, you knew that.
Alex Burge has got hits in 4 of his last 5. 3 multi-hit games in that stretch. Does not have a hit tonight. Currently 0 for 3. Did reach on an error and came around to score back in the second inning. But since then, it has been very quiet offensively for the Saints. First pitch bounced in the dirt from Gavin Eddy.
Yeah, after 8 runs on 7 hits through the first 2 innings, the Saints have yet to pick up a hit since then, have walked a couple of times. But, you know, the Riptide pitching after Becerra left has just really held down the fort.
This is a hard swing, right field. No doubt about it. That one is out of here. A solo shot to right for Alex Burge. 4th home run of the season, 4th against the Riptide. Up to 15 RBIs on the year. It's 9-3 Saints.
And see, English is my second language. Canadian's my natural language. What I meant was they'd hold down the fort until that absolute moonshot by Alex Burge, who, I mean, that was deleted off the bat. And for Jacob Shart, more competition.
Yeah, no, now 4 home runs for Alex Burge. You got to wonder, does Josh Livingston have one later in this game? Now 5 for Shart, 4 for Burge, 3 for Livingston, 2 for Donnelly this season. Oh my, the power. 381 to right field, 104 miles an hour off the bat. Absolutely clobbered.
So Joey Donnelly hits one 102, and then Alex Burge 104. And my God, was that ball crushed.
Yeah, always fun to see the home runs. We've seen more as the season has progressed. As Joey Craig now up to the dish, swings through the second pitch of the at-bat, 1 ball, 1 strike. Craig's been good tonight, 2 for 3 game, 2 singles, 2 runs. Ground out in his last plate appearance. So after Eddy was really doing well through an inning, gives up the leadoff blast to right field. Saints are 4-2 against the Riptide this year, 3-0 at home. Just dominated this OC squad here in Pasadena. Just a couple outs away from making this 5-2 season series.
Thank God this isn't in Compton, because we know how the cars are right behind the right field wall. I mean, if Burge hit that one at the Academy Barron Stadium, someone would be in the market for a new windshield.
Yeah, you'd hear a car alarm for sure. It's Burge continuing to just find ways to be powerful at the dish. You know, last season, was tied for second on the team in home runs with 3 of them. Already is 4 this summer. The powers continue to improve, and Joey Craig works a walk. This has been a really nice game from Joey Craig in the 4 spot. So after the solo leadoff home run to right field, the walk from Joey Craig, Joey Donnelly now on. He has the grand slam in this game, the 4 RBIs coming back in the first, but he's been quiet since. 0 for 2, a strikeout popped out as well. Looking to add another multi-hit game, already has 10 on the season. He's got 3 against the Riptide in 6 appearances.
And for Edie, I mean, he had a pretty solid first inning, but this one's just really gotten away from him.
Yeah, it's been tough for sure.
I mean, just talk about an absolute moonshot. We've seen a few of those these last couple of games. Something about the Saints batters playing at home just injects a new life into
And
them.
playing against the Riptide, too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a Saints squad that has not messed around in terms of the power against this OC team. 2 balls, no strikes to Donnelly. Donnelly now on a 9-game hitting streak with 2 home runs in that span, 14 RBIs. Swings foul, strike 1.
I'm sure the Riptide are taking note of just how dominant these Saints batters have been at home, especially against this opponent.
How about a 16-game reach base streak for Joey Donnelly? 15 games prior to tonight, 478 on-base percentage in that span. I mean, it's just been ridiculous numbers for Donnelly at the dish.
I mean, he's such a great guy, too. Just great vibes, great energy. You always love seeing people like him succeeding at the dish.
Hopefully for Cal Berkeley Bears, you know, they're going to hope Donnelly and Burge are continuing to hit home runs up north next season. There's ball 4, so Donnelly reaches base again, this time a walk, so back-to-back walks after the leadoff shot. Gavinetti looks like a very different outing in terms of the second inning of work compared to the first.
Yeah, and minimal activity going on in the Riptide bullpen, but you know, you see the manager coming out, maybe a new pitcher on their way.
Talk about the offense the Saints have churned out. Right, you know, the 18 runs a couple nights ago, then put up 12 against the Riptide and a 12-5 win. Only got 1 run the last meeting between these two teams, the game in Irvine. But back tonight, 9 runs, and remember, this Saints squad 12-2 when scoring 6 or more. Trying to get to 17-14 on the year, 13-7 at home, and also go back to 500 in their last 28 games. Still have not won more than 2 games or lost more than 2 games since that 3-game win streak at the beginning of the summer. That's still a crazy stat.
We should have asked Trajan if the team overall. I mean, I know I think we've asked them before that they're aware that the 2-game winning streak and losing streak neither have been extended past a certain point.
So Josh Livingston with an opportunity to add a couple more RBIs. He's already got 1 tonight. Swings right side. 3-6. Thought about 3 double play, but just the fielder's choice. Livingston will reach, but the runner gets over to third base. Joey Craig now just 90 feet away from putting up double digits on the scoreboard for the 3rd game in the last 4.
Yeah, hard hit ball right to J.C. Allen, but Bates unable to corral the ball on the transfer to get the double play. So I guess we call it still a force out to first, advancing on the mishap by Bates. And now Lopez with a chance to get some RBIs. He, had the 2 in that 11-3 win against the Riptide, but still only working with 6 total on the season.
Yeah, he's been good, though. Has hits in 8 of his last 9. Has reached base so far with a walk, but has flew out each of his last 2 plate appearances.
Oh, that was a nasty off speed.
Yeah, just breaking inside a little too much. 1 ball, no strikes. And Lopez at the beginning of the year is swinging at that.
Hence the, 11-game on-base streak that he's working with?
Now 12 games.
Or 12 games, 11 games coming into tonight. That's a huge reason.
He's been a lot more protective of the plate, but also smart at the plate. 2 balls, no strikes after the fastball high.
Still striking out probably more than what he would like, but nonetheless still finds himself in this lineup just from his walk ability.
And even against the Riptide, he's been fantastic. 353 batting average, 421 on base coming into this ball game. There's a swing and a miss for strike one. Sporting the pink gloves, the trade with Josh Livingston. Maybe that's why Livingston's been a little bit slower of late.
And Lopez is, maybe it's the magic touch of these
pink batting gloves. Who knows? Lopez, no strikeouts tonight. Has strikeouts in 7 of his last 8 as Livingston goes, but he'll have to retreat back to first. Trajan Lee getting his cardio in, fetching foul balls.
Got to get the legs warmed up before tomorrow's big start.
And before the bus ride to Thousand Oaks tomorrow. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on the corners here in the 7th. Alex Burge homering in the leadoff batter of this inning off Gavin Eddy. Eddy whizzes one low, ball 3.
What a take by Lopez, though. That one looked like a strike until the very last second, which is the purpose of that pitch from Eddy.
So Lopez will battle. It's Craig at third, Livingston at first. We've seen Livingston already try and go once in this inning. And there's a swing and a miss, so make that another strikeout for Adrian Lopez. 8 strikeouts in 8 of his last 9, 15 of his last 17.
I mean, just a dirty pitch, though. And Eddy was just really working, and it looks like that will conclude for him.
Could be the end of Gavin Eddy's night. Makes sense, given you've got the righty-on-righty matchup. Or it doesn't actually make sense, given that you have the righty-on-righty matchup. You'd expect maybe,
yeah.
You know, I'm so used to the righty-on-lefty matchup, and then you bring a lefty in. But that'll end Eddy's night. Saints lead by 6. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. We'll take a quick step aside. Be back in a jiffy.
My name is Tyler Gordon.
My name is Adrian Lopez, and this is Riptide with the Saints.
I have Spencer Torkelson from the Tigers. He went to ASU.
I got 2009 most valuable players, American League is at Joe Mauer, and National League Albert Pujols.
I got Lawrence Butler, rookie card actually from the Athletics.
I got Walker Buehler, signed card. That's pretty sick. I'm a big Dodgers fan, so that's pretty cool.
I got Rafael Devers from the Red Sox. Fun fact, when I went to Fenway like 5 years ago, he threw me a ball.
I got Jacob Lopez, a pitcher from the Rays. Last name's Lopez. Might be related, might not.
I got Matt McClain on the Reds. He's from Orange County, just like me.
This is the Diamondbacks catcher, Gabriel Moreno.
Tanner Beebe, the Guardians pitcher.
We got an outfielder, Robbie Grossman from the Rangers.
Pretty good pitcher, Brady Singer on the Royals.
I got a catcher from the Pirates, Jason Delay.
Isaac Paredes on the Rays, infielder.
I got Francisco Mejia, a catcher for the Rays.
And then my last card is Justin Steele on the Cubs. He threw a complete game today against the Angels.
I got Chris Bassett for the Blue Jays. Pretty cool little deck.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Big fan of that Walker Buehler one.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
So to try and get out of the damage for the Riptide will be Sam Hasegawa, making his 7th appearance of the year, an 0-1 record, 1.17 ERA. He'll face Sheehan O'Connor. Hasegawa, 12 strikeouts, 4 walks, 7 hits, and just 7 2/3 of work so far. Played with OC Riptide in 2023 as well, 9 games in that last summer, as O'Connor whips one into right field. Base knock, double digits for 3 games in the last 4 for the Saints. 2nd and 3rd, oh my. This Saints offense continuing to just pour it on.
And talk about, maybe it was the reverse jinx from a broadcaster, how I was saying the Saints were getting no hit from the 3rd inning until the 6th inning. Bring on the bottom of the 7th inning, 2 outs, but we've seen a Burge home run, a nice piece of hitting from Sheehan O'Connor with the high IQ to advance from 1st to 2nd on the single. And another run comes in these last 3 home games. I don't know what's injected into the Saints' veins.
Yeah, there's just something in the air here in Pasadena, clearly, as Gordon chops one left side. Oh, just foul. If not, that was 2 runs right there.
That one looked really good. And Tyler Gordon overall has looked really good at the plate over these last couple of games. You know, we saw that multi-hit performance that he had the last time these two teams met in Pasadena, and also had that incredible diving catch over at short.
There's ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Gordon still searching for his first hit tonight. Has reached base, though, with a walk. Came around to score back in the 2nd, thanks to the Jacob Sharp 2-run home run, as a foul ball right back at Matt Spear, and he is down. Feels like we've seen this way too many times in the past 2 weeks from a variety of players.
No words.
We'll take
you got to feel for Matt Spear, though.
Yeah, and we'll take a quick step aside as Matt Spear hopefully gets back to his feet.
My name is Tyler Gordon.
My name is Adrian Lopez, and this is Riptide Dex with the Saints.
I have Spencer Torkelson from the Tigers. He went to ASU.
I got 2009 most valuable players, American League is at Joe Mauer, and National League Albert Pujols.
I got Lawrence Butler, rookie card actually from the Athletics.
I got Walker Buehler, signed card. That's pretty sick. I'm a big Dodgers fan, so that's pretty cool.
I got Rafael Devers from the Red Sox. Fun fact, when I went to Fenway like 5 years ago, he threw me a ball.
I got Jacob Lopez, pitcher from the Rays. Last name is Lopez. Might be related, might not.
I got Matt McClain on the Reds. He's from Orange County, just like me.
This is the Diamondbacks catcher, Gabriel Moreno.
Tanner Beebe, the Guardians pitcher.
We got an outfielder, Robbie Grossman from the Rangers.
Pretty good pitcher, Brady Singer on the Royals.
I got a catcher from the Pirates, Jason DeLay.
Isaac Paredes on the Rays, infielder.
I got Francisco Mejia, a catcher for the Rays.
And then my last card is Justin Steele on the Cubs. He threw a complete game today against the Angels.
I got Chris Bassett for the Blue Jays. Pretty cool little deck.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Big fan of that Walker Buehler one.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Get out. One Nick. Go safe, dude. Heard me.
So Max Senesac comes in for Spear. Senesac, the hero, just 2 nights ago in Irvine. The walk-off single that brought home Camden Bates for the Riptide 2-1 win. Spoiled a really good outing from Carter Herrera, but he'll get the nod here late in this one. 7th inning, 10-3 the score. Saints on top by 7, asking for more. With runners on 2nd and 3rd, Tyler Gordon faces a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, you feel for Spear, who took that one right in the sweet spot. And I mean, how many times in this last couple of weeks have we seen? But it's the opposing catcher.
Don't be an opposing catcher here in Pasadena. It just will not end well for you.
Was it the game against the Forcers where the same catcher got hit twice?
That was the Ventura County Pirates.
Oh, the Ventura County Pirates. I couldn't remember. I mean, it's happened so much.
Poor Grant Madrid Murray.
Oh.
1-ball, 2 strikes. It's okay. The Pirates are up 13-12 over the San Diego Sunrays right now, so don't think it'll matter too much to him. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. O'Connor at 2nd. It's Livingston at 3rd.
I guess if we're doing the out-of-town scoreboard, the Oaks up 12-4 on the Barons. Just if the Saints win, just more separation into solidifying that 3 spot.
As it's a drop 3rd strike. So Livingston will score. A strikeout for Tyler Gordon, but this inning is still going. It's back-to-back strikeouts for Tyler Gordon, but Livingston scampers on home. We've got an 11-3 ball game.
Yeah, and after this Saints offense just got absolutely dominated as a pinch hitter, Crew McChesney, coming in.
For Jacob Sharts. So that's the end of Jacob Sharts' night, taken out after a 1-for-2 night with 2 walks, a 2-run shot, 2 RBIs, and a strikeout. So Crew McChesney batting in the top spot in the lineup now for the first time since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and we'll give Jacob Shart his flowers as he exits after the 2-run homer to right field. Had 2 walks, came around to score twice. The batting average now at .315, and just a smart move by Coach Aaron Milam. We know Jacob Shart's most likely going to be in the game tomorrow, and with an 11-3 cushion here in the bottom of the 7th inning, you just don't want to risk anything.
Also, you'd expect McChesney to go back to center field, Elliott to slide from center to left defensively.
I mean, Elliott could slide anywhere, really.
Even on the base paths.
Mm-hmm.
No balls, 2 strikes to McChesney. He's got 14 RBIs on the year, trying to tack on 1 more. 240 batting average, 362 on base percentage. It's a ball outside, ball 1. And after 4 consecutive 2-hit games for McChesney, he's got a 5-game hitless drought. He's been out of the lineup as well. Didn't play against the Riptide on the first game of the series. Slaps right side over to second baseman. Hackworth flings on to first. Hasagawa covering the bag, and the Riptide get out of the inning. Not before the Saints tack on a couple more. 11-3, headed to the 8th in Pasadena. Saints.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it will score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 at the top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound, and Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Rio did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the ninth for the Saints to end things in the ninth inning? What a game for the Saints. So 7-8-9 due up here in the 8th inning. Tyler Hergis coming in, 3.24 ERA, a 3-0 record in his 7 games this season. 16 2/3 innings, 21 strikeouts to 13 walks, 14 hits allowed. He's got a 1.62 whip, but he's gotten out of a ton of big situations, and against this Riptide team, especially early in the year, was fantastic.
Yeah, but how about Jace Presley through 3 innings of work, facing only 12 batters, just barely above the minimum.
It's a first pitch strike to Bates. It's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk after the 1 for 4 game with 2 runs scored against the Saints last time out 2 nights ago. Hergis winds and fires. Slapped foul, strike 2.
And although the bottom of the 7th inning got away from the Riptide pitching staff, I mean, before that, they were really phenomenal. Just 1 hit allowed through 3 2/3 innings of work. Eddie, went really solid up until this point when Alex Burge took him, I don't even know if deep is the right word.
Out of the yard.
Yeah, I mean, that ball had a new area code.
Go put in the museum out there in right field. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 8th inning, 8-run lead for the Saints. Swing and a miss. Tyler Hergis picks up a strikeout. His first of the game, 22nd of the season. Camden Bates goes down swinging.
Nice piece of work from Hergis to just get that first out. And for the Saints, I think just the one thing about them that is great is just their ability to bounce back after tough losses. I mean, losing on Sunday night in extra innings, getting absolutely dominated at the dish. Only 1 hit surrendered from Kova. And then you respond, you have the day off yesterday, and you respond with 11 runs so far in a really stellar pitching performance from Aiden Pollock.
Oh, nice play by Matthew Thomas in the on-deck circle, barehanding that ball off the cage. Max Senesac at the dish, his first plate appearance of tonight, coming in from Matt Spear, who got hit down low. He's playing catcher. Senesac came in that bottom of the 7th. 0-1, swung foul, out of play, quickly behind, no balls, 2 strikes. Senesac had the walk-off winner against the Saints just 2 nights ago. Just 2 for his last 14, however. Hits in 2 of his last 4. It's been struggles at the plate for him so far this season. Hitless in 7 of his last 11. Does have 2 multi-hit games in that span, though.
Yeah, and for Senesac in totality, just a 167 batting average. And that rut that he has been in has just really killed him. Obviously, the hits in back-to-back games, but you're still talking about only 2 hits in his last 14 at-bats.
The on-base percentage of it, 326, respectable. Slapped left side past Adrian Lopez, and that's going to be extra bases for Senesac as ball finally gets into the infield.
What a beautiful piece of hitting from Max Senesac, just to find that little hole in between the third base line and Adrian Lopez.
Saints have made a couple defensive adjustments. Originally, I thought that was going to be Ace Elliott in left, but Elliott's in center. Ray Bermuda is coming to the game. He's in right field. Joey Craig is in left. So Craig gets the ball in, and it's a double for Senesac.
A lot is happening.
That's 3 games in a row with a base knock for the catcher. First pitch to Matthew Thomas outside for ball 1.
And just unfortunate for Herges, who delivered a really solid pitch and induced weak contact on that Senesac extra base hit. Just found that one little spot that Lopez wasn't hugging.
Oh, fastball there. Outer half, strike 1. It's a really nice pitch from Herges, direct, straight to the point, and into the strike column. This game started at 89 degrees here. It's been hot of late in Southern California. Now it's 75, much more cool and temperate. Well, as we get into the later hours.
You gotta love it.
You know what, the 70? Well, imagine if it started at 75.
Oh, don't get that in my head. Like, that's a dream. I mean, when we arrive to the ballpark, it's always in the mid to low 90s. So, I mean, this is beautiful weather as we just head into the dog days of summer.
Hopefully not dog days for the Saints, as they'll be chasing postseason baseball. There's a strike 3. Herges picks up his second strikeout of the evening. There's 2 away with a runner on second. Back to the top of the lineup here in the 8th.
It gets Thomas to chase the high cheddar, and for Thomas, that's now 2 strikeouts, an 0 for 4 day for him. And a season that just hasn't really been eventful for him offensively, now batting just 102 on the year.
So Hackworth, 2 strikeouts in this ball game, has struck out in 6 of his last 7 appearances. But also has a hit. That was the leadoff single back in the first. Walked in the third. Came around to score in that inning as well.
Yeah. Still batting .368 on the season, even if he has a couple of strikeouts in his back pocket. But what we mentioned early on, just him and Ace Reese, the only 2 hitting above 300 on the team. And you look at this lineup, I mean, you have Luke Johnson at 258 as of now, and Rocco Gump at 238, Diaz at 264, but after that, a lot of guys batting sub 200.
No balls, 2 strikes now to Hackworth. This is a Riptide team that coming in tonight batting 235, 7th best mark in the CCL. There's 8-member teams, obviously, so not quite that good in terms of offensive production. Team that has an on-base percentage at .365. This one awkwardly hit back towards Herges. We'll loop it over to first base Livingston. A kind of a check swing that went right back at the pitcher. We're through the top of the 8th. 11-3 the score. Saints up with a big lead. 2, 3, 4 due up. Easton Elliott, Alex Burge, and Joey Craig, the hitters for the Saints here in this 8th inning. Sam Hasagawa still on the bump for the Riptide. Picked up the final out of the 7th. Elliott, first pitch high and outside, ball 1. Elliott's been good so far in this game. He's made a couple nice defensive plays. Single back in the first. 0 for 3 since with a pair of flyouts to right field. Another pitch high, ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes to Easton Elliott. Now going to Long Beach State. Was at Oral Roberts before, and he's mentioned at times this year that how he's just kind of figured things out this summer. You know, was playing a little bit scared at Long Beach State.
You mean at Oral Roberts?
Or at Oral Roberts, rather. What am I saying? You know, it's late in this game, 11-3 the score.
I mean,
2 balls, 1 strike.
We talked about the Saints bullpen kind of being a Charlie horse at times, but how about tonight? 4 innings of work, 3 hits allowed, no earned runs, no runs across, 4 strikeouts to 2 walks.
But it really feels like the top half of this order, too. Even as deep as the 6 or 7 batters, feels like we finally figured out who these 7 hitters are for the Saints that are going to be in there night in and night out. So, walk for Elliott, now has reached base in 2 of his 5 plate appearances tonight.
Wonder how aggressive he is on the base pass. We know how he has a stolen base ability, but just an 11-3 game, is it worth causing, like, God forbid something happens, is it worth it?
Yeah, 14 stolen bases on the year, tied for the most in the CCL, but has the 2nd most caught stealing in the CCL.
And he's aware of it. We've talked to him about it. He knows.
He knows his stats. Out of anyone on this team, he knows his stats.
Yeah, never question Easton Elliott when it comes to statistics.
Alex Burge now coming off that home run just an inning ago, the solo shot to right field. And the Saints have scored runs in bunches, have only scored in 3 innings tonight. 4 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the 7th. Have the leadoff man aboard here in the 8th.
Yeah, well, when they were getting no hit from the 3rd until the 6th, kind of hard to produce runs. They had a couple of walks, but that 7th inning, it started with Alex Burge, and he really set the table for what was an eventful inning for the Saints.
Maybe not set the table's interesting. Maybe predicted the future because he didn't get on base.
Yeah,
well, he got so much on base. As Elliott goes, Senesac has trouble with the ball, and Easton Elliott is atop the CCL leaderboard in stolen bases. 15 on the season for the dirtbag. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I forgot that he's a dirtbag.
Yeah.
A real dirtbag now. Such an interesting name for a school. Like
2 balls, 1 strike. And it's also for their baseball. It's only for their baseball team as well.
Interesting.
Just no words from Evan Davis. The normally very wordy Evan Davis.
Just interesting to have a team named the Dirtbags.
So Burge, hitter's count here. Interesting to see if he gets the green light. 1 for 4 in today's game. 2 runs, reached on an error, and obviously the solo blast to right. And lays off. That's ball 4. So back-to-back walks for Hasagawa, and this game continues to move along. Now 2 on for Joey Craig, who has really been fantastic tonight. 2 for 3, has the walk, 3 runs scored. It's just quietly been all over this scorecard.
Yeah, and quietly has an average at 273. Obviously a lot smaller of a sample size, but still really doing a great job at the plate as of late.
Craig, first pitch swinging, fouls 1 back, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to the hitter that was formerly at Houston. Teammates and roommates with Ace Reese for the Riptide, but both of those guys transferring. Reese going to Mississippi State and Joey Craig going to New Mexico State. Hasagawa fires, chopped left side over to Gump, steps on the bag at 3rd, back onto 1st, not in time. So fielder's choice for Craig, 1 out, 2 on for Josh Livingston.
Yeah, smart play
or
by
Joey Donnelly, excuse me.
Smart play by Gump to recognize the fact that he could step on 3rd for the force out, but felt like just because he looked a second time at third base and he had to rush the throw, that's why it kind of got caught up in front of J.C. Allen. But nice job by Allen to at least keep that ball in front of him, keep it in the infield.
So Donnelly, the grand slam. And since then, 0 for 2 with a walk. He's reached base twice tonight. Swings through a first pitch strike. Still searching for another multi-hit game. He's got 10 on the season. Has got 4 multi-hit games in his last 5. Currently sporting a 9-game hit streak. Slams right back up the middle, over to Camden Bates. On to second, back on to first. Oh, what a quick 8th inning. We're headed to the 9th. St. Strand 2, 11-3 the score. It's do or die time for the Riptide. Showcase earlier this week.
Currently riding a 6-game hit streak as that one sent up the middle. Gordon will fling that one on to second. Sheehan O'Connor on to first. Double play, and Spencer C.
Both are the highest marks on the team.
Burge sends that one into center field. Kemmerer looking back on it, and it's gone! Oppo Taco, Alex Burge, have yourself a last 48 hours. Saints grab the lead early. It's 2-0.
And Burge, Jacob Sharp took the home run lead for the Saints last night, and Alex Burge was like, no, I want that.
Around 8 strikeouts in his last 4 games. Chops that one towards the second baseman. What a play by Sheehan O'Connor. Flings that one on to first. Took it high. Livingston. Adios. That ball is long gone. And that's a 7-4 lead for the Saints.
I mean, Burge and Livingston, they just have to hit home runs in the same game. They just have to. It's like something's wrong if they don't. They've done it already once this season against the Riptide. Here for the second time, having a 2-run shot to right field. Wow, was he doing that a couple years ago?
He was, yep.
Walk, so an 0 for 2 night for him. That one is sky high into left field. Jacob Sharp running it down. What a catch.
And we talked time and time again, just for could be an inning.
1-2, that one smoked to Gordon. Throws it on to first, my Lord. 1-2, that one is smoked into center field. Kemmerer looking back on it, and that one is gone. Jacob Sharp, back-to-back games with a home run. It's 11-5.
Oh, this is absolute drama here by the Saints offensive hitters. I mean, Burge ties the Saints lead at 3 after Sharp put up his fastball. He throws it hard.
Indeed he does. Reese goes down on...
It doesn't matter what he's throwing. If it's the heater, if it's the off-speed. Oh, back-to-back Ks. That's just what he does.
And delivers the foul tip strikeout, and he strikes out the side. The Saints win by a touchdown here in Pasadena.
So potentially auditioning for the closer role with Braden Sanford no longer with the team. Ahmad Harajli getting the nod here in the 9th inning. Not obviously a safe situation given the 8-run cushion. But Harajli, a 3.6 ERA, 7 games under his belt, 10 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts to 15 walks, 5 hits. But he just gives you that confidence on the bump.
Yeah, he gives you the confidence, unfortunately. And this last 2 outings just hasn't really displayed what we've been used to seeing. 8 walks to just 4 strikeouts. Has also suffered a couple of hit by pitches, but still through 10 innings of work, 17 Ks. But you see the whip at 2.
It's been those walks especially. Faces Luke Johnson, no balls, 2 strikes. Bird's trying to frame the pitch in there for a strike, but it's just off the edge for ball 1. Johnson so far tonight, 2 hits, 2 for 3 with a walk. He's reached 3 plate appearances. Johnson lays off.
Thought about it for a second.
Or was a check down to the first base umpire, but did not go. Harajli making his first appearance since July 12th against the Conejo Oaks. He's had some time off. 2-2 inside, ball 3. So after quick 2 strikes, 3 quick balls, and this count is full.
Yeah, this is kind of what we've been referring to. 5 walks through an inning and 2/3 in his last outing.
Payoff pitch outside, ball 4, and that's a really nice at-bat for Luke Johnson, who's, all you can really do at this point if you're the Riptide is just try and extend this inning.
Yeah, as much as possible. Now you got J.C. Allen up, who really feasted here on, what was that, Saturday night, going 3 for 4 with a handful of RBIs.
It's been an okay game for him so far. 1 for 4, does have a ground ball into a double play to end the 6th, strand a runner, but does have an RBI single as well back in the 3rd. Harajli heaves first pitch strike. He was up 0-2 in the count against Johnson. 4 quick balls, walked the Cornell second baseman. Saints are 4-2 against the Riptide this year, trying to make it 5-2, trying to close this thing out. This one's lifted into right field. Ray Bermudez, couldn't quite get there. Ball will squirt free. So runners now first and second.
And you see just how deep Ray Bermudez was playing. That's just hard. And he gave all the effort in the world to potentially make that grab.
And it looks like Crew McChesney's actually in center field. Excuse me from what I thought earlier with Easton Elliott in center field. Elliott's at second base. And can't see. I think that's Tyler Gordon at shortstop.
No, that is Sheehan O'Connor.
Oh, it's Sheehan O'Connor. Ball lifted left side. So repeat on that. It's McChesney in center, Elliott at second, O'Connor at short, right field Bermudez, and left field Craig, as the Saints have moved guys around.
Everyone's finding a new home.
11-3 ball game. Harajli had 0-1 to, or 0-2, I guess, to J.C. Allen. There's strike 2, excuse me. Now 0-2.
Oh, no. If you could predict the future.
Or 0-2 to Gump. There we go. Just high and off the edge. So it was the single from J.C. Allen that got away from Ray Bermudez in right. Now Rocco Gump. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 11-3 lead for the Saints. Harajli. Oh, what a pitch. Spins the off speed for strike 3. Oh, that was dirty.
Open up the front door and just completely fooled Rocco Gump. What a beautiful pitch.
That was just disgusting from Gump. Make it now 4 consecutive games without a hit. Hitless in 7 of his last 8 after 2 multi-hit games in a 3-game span. It's been struggles at the plate for Gump, who was named to the CCL showcase. It's now Michael Diaz. 1 ball, no strikes to him. Harajli earns the first out via the strikeout. Diaz has been sauced tonight. 1 for 3, 2 strikeouts, a walk, run scored as well. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. We've seen a lot of double play balls in this game. Harajli, double play ball would get him out of it. Ball inside for ball 2.
Just a bit inside.
you wonder, especially with Braden Sanford being so good in those late game situations, who takes over as the closer, especially come playoff time?
I mean, we've seen Aiden Pollock in that high leverage closer position, but it appears that he'll be a starting pitcher now moving forward. We've seen him go 9 innings in his last 2 starts, 5 and 4, but he was working up in the bullpen and then now into a starting spot.
3-1. Runners at first and second. Harajli fires, flung back, foul, strike 2. It's a good comeback pitch for Ahmad Harajli, trying to work this count to full. Saints are 3-0 against the Riptide at home, trying to make it 4-0. 2 outs away from that. After the Riptide beat the Saints 2-1 in Irvine on Sunday night, courtesy of Max Sanasak, a walk-off single. Got away from Joey Donnelly at first base. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ahmad Harajli. Make it 19 on the season. Oh, that's the kind of stuff that we like to see from Harajli.
Yeah, way to work back into that count from down 3-1 to culminate with a strikeout and just kind of a tough game at the plate for Michael Diaz, who's 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts.
Hammond's been good tonight. Hits in 6 of his last 7, including this game. 7 of his last 9. Ball 1 inside. So walked back in the second. RBI single in the third to bring home Luke Johnson. He's been retired each of his last 2 plate appearances. A pop out down the third base side and a strikeout. 2 balls, no strikes. Excuse me, that's a fly out to right and a pop out to the first base side. That was Camden Bates' scorecard that I was looking at. 2-0 outside, ball 3.
Just trying to get Hammond to chase the off-speed low and away.
Has not chased yet, has he? 11-3 the score. There's strike 1. That's a confident pitch from Harajli. It feels like his command for the zone has been better tonight. That's, I feel like, something we've seen him struggle with. It feels like even though he's gotten behind in counts, he's been able to find the strikes later to stay around. Flung back, foul for strike 2. Didn't hear a loud thud or anything, so hopefully everyone's okay back there. Payoff pitch. Runners will be going. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Harajli with 2 strikeouts in this one. He's allowed a hit and a walk. Keeping that 2 whip. Strike, oh, just off the edge. Thought strike 3 was there. I think Jack Hammond might have thought so too for a second.
I mean,
looks like he froze.
Yeah, he froze. He was just waiting to hear the home plate umpire.
So make that another walk to load the bases with 2 outs. Camden Bates, he had a home run in his last game against the Saints. It was a Mickey Mouse shot to left field that went just about 3 or 4 feet past the left field fence. Just a high towering fly ball that barely got out of Great Park in Irvine. It's only 330 to the wall and left there. Saints were not able to really take advantage of the shorter corners, but doesn't really matter given they've been able to hit the ball with so much power here in Pasadena.
And Harajli is just unable to get any of these Riptide batters to bite.
So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bases loaded for Bates. Chopper, left side, over to O'Connor. Flings onto Elliott at second, and that's the ball game. 11-3, Saints win this one, move to 17-14, 13-7 at home. And this Saints squad, 5-2 against the Riptide this season, a perfect 4-0 here in Pasadena.
Yeah, now the Saints leapfrog the Riptide in the standings, and we'll add a little bit more of a cushion, hopefully, once those final 6 outs are completed at Cal Lutheran tomorrow afternoon. And what a performance by the pitching staff throughout. I mean, Aiden Pollock, 4 solid innings. Yes, the 6 walks, but 5 strikeouts, only 2 earned runs allowed, 4 hits. And then you look at Jace Presley, Tyler Herges, Ahmad Harajli, who gave you 5 shutout innings. in the bullpen, just surrendering 4 hits, 4 walks to 4 strikeouts. What an incredible all-around performance. Joey Donnelly with the grand slam. Jacob Shart adds to the home run total. Alex Burge supplying some power as well. And this is a Saints squad that always battles back from adversity. You know, a tough loss on Sunday night, 2-1 in extras, but then to respond with such a convincing win here.
Have now won 2 of its last 3, potentially 3 of its last 4, not necessarily quite yet, given that Oaks game still needs to be played out. But this is a Saints team that you feel like the power is there, and, you know, somebody's got to call the electrician because these opponents, I mean, they are facing a lot of power from this Saints squad. For David Mathamora is our wonderful producer. For Evan Davis, I've been Adam Beck. You've tuned into Saints baseball. They take this one final tonight, 11-3. Tune in to us tomorrow on the road at Cal.